Hello, everybody. Yep, once more Dicks. This is the stream of D&D Dicks.
Aren't you streaming on the wrong site for Dicks, Beanie?
I mean, I stream on many sites, Phil.
D&D now live on Chatterbait.
D&D, Dicks and Dicks.
You know,
you've already thrown me off. Like I'm super.
That's a niche someone hasn't tapped into.
Yeah, somebody should absolutely run a naked D&D stream on Chatterbait or something.
They probably have done before. I mean, the internet's been around for a long time.
People would get super into that. Every time
I don't know.
I don't honestly.
Cobalt. Oh.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been into my D&D for, as I worked out earlier, 13 years now, and I've never thought I want to mix my D&D with my porn. It's not really something that goes together. It's.
So you have it here confirmed, folks.
Well, considering what people's art is, I think it probably is something that goes together.
What's that? That's actually fair.
All I'm saying is maybe you're playing the wrong kind of D&D.
Apparently I'm not. This is Dicks and Dicks, Phil. So
it's a very different kind of dungeons where some people go, isn't it?
Also, I want to just throw it out there. I'm super sleepy, so that start has already thrown me off. Where was I?
The beginning.
Somewhere around hello.
Oh yeah, hello. Welcome to our D&D stream with me, Beanie, and my friends, Tube of Smarties, Mike, and Phil.
Hi.
But which one's the Tube of Smarties?
The one that was literally holding a Tube of Smarties on this.
Not sponsored. Hashtag not spawn.
Oh no, if Smarties wants to sponsor me, feel free. Only with money though, because not your stuff, because your stuff is really not that great. Like 4 out of 10.
Like Smarties.
It's just chocolate. Like,
I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
If I want chocolate, I'm not gonna get the stuff with the crappy sugar thing.
It's sugar-coated sugar. What's not to love?
I'm just gonna get base chocolate. How have we got tangented again? It's like we're like 5 minutes into this fucking stream.
This is the thing, though. Like waiting for Mike to actually get started. I've finished eating all the Smarties. Now I'm completely hyped out my ass on sugar. So.
Yeah. I wish I could be hyped. I've got a can of Monster to try and wake me up, but
it's your fault. But I'm the enabler. I bought the damn tube, so.
All right.
What happened last week? Go on, Beanie.
So, last week in D&D Out the Abyss, what did happen? Oh, the party were resting in a side cavern after having just travelled through an immensely large cavern during their journey to Crackle Stir. During the night, their rest was interrupted by a strange troglodyte, who, upon speaking with the group, revealed herself to be a member of the Society of Brilliance, a group of intellectuals based within the Underdark that focus all their attention on the study of the Underdark. She, although there was slight conflict in the party as to whether to let her rest with the group, she was eventually allowed rest under the protection of the group, even after her social awkwardness almost led to Renlan causing Kamar to kill her on the spot. But Cobalt, Flynt, and Anwar managed to talk them all down, and the troglodyte was given her rest for the night. During the chats and such, whilst the party made this troglodyte Skrill, I want to say her name was. Is that right?
Sorry, what?
What was her name? Skrill?
Skriss.
That's it. Sorry, I'm not going.
Oh my god, Beanie, get your notes.
I've got all my notes out, just not the right ones apparently.
You're good.
During their conversation with Skriss, the party revealed that they had come across the Demogorgon, a demon lord, which Skriss made them aware of not being a particularly common thing within the Underdark, which at least one person had believed was the case.
I think I asked about it. I didn't imply it was common. I was just like, I mean...
Somebody did. Somebody was very surprised, I believe. I seem to remember. I might be wrong. But, again, sleep-deprived state. However, she then revealed that there is another demon lord. I forget his name as well, because I'm an idiot. Iognu. The demon lord of savagery. And the original father of the Gnolls, specifically. She revealed that she had come across him, or at least signs of him within the Underdark as well, which means that there is now 2 almost demigod-like beings of very evil intent roaming the caverns of the Underdark. And
We need to get them to fight each
Can
other.
I,
That's
like,
how we're going to do
actually
it.
Right, please.
And as such, the Skris rested for the night and then went as quickly as possible to teleport to her companions to warn them and tell them of such things. Before she left, however, she did write a parchment full of directions, which, if followed to the letter, would be enough to lead the party to the Dwagar city of Gracklestir. And I believe that is everything covered.
She also gave us a scale,
That's true.
so we could prove we'd assist her to anyone else in the society.
Yes.
I don't remember that.
This is just
Okay.
She gave it to me.
as far as
I was nice to her.
as far as you can tell, it's just a mundane scale as well. Nothing special about it.
Yeah.
Although it is obviously
It was more
from
just
her.
it was proof of any claims we make that we've helped her.
Yes.
Yeah.
She did also specifically point out in the directions roughly where she last heard of Eognu.
Yes, she did.
Eognu.
Eognu.
Party has awoken. Skris has left, and you are once more just yourselves alone in this cavern. Kamar, Cobalt, Anwar, Renlan, Flynt, Eldeth, Turvey, and Stool. I believe that's everybody. Even the goblins were.
Yeah.
Goblins
the group
bailed
in-
out.
Can't remember if you mentioned it or not already, but yeah, Matt's not here this week.
Yes, sorry, we did cover this last week. Matt's not going to be with us for the next 4 weeks or so. So we'll be carrying on just the 3 of us. There won't be any big events happening in the next 4 weeks. That doesn't
Spoilers.
mean
That sounds like a challenge.
That doesn't mean there won't be some fun things that I have planned for the players, however.
Alright,
One very
I
specific
murder all of Matt's
event
characters.
is going to be happening very soon.
All of them. All
You say
2
that,
of them.
he's probably going to enjoy it because it means he gets to make more characters. That's pretty much what he does in his
He does
spare
like
time.
he does like doing
Well,
that.
Matt goes through characters faster than I do, and I'm a DM.
In the last game I played with you, you died twice. 3 times?
No, in the last
Twice.
game I played with you, I died once,
And then ran off.
And then
Yeah,
ran off
well,
once.
You
and then
bullied my
existed the
character
third time.
away. You literally bullied my character out of the party.
Yeah.
I didn't, did I?
It
No,
was
it
just
was
a
Mike.
little bit of fairy fire.
Yes,
Oh,
It is
yeah.
to a
good.
character that was terrified of her own magical
I
power.
know.
Yeah, let's stick to this
Yes.
D&D game instead of talking about the other one on Saturdays.
Yes. Anyway, so you've all grouped together. I believe you did any activities you wish to do in the morning, and are now
Yeah, we'd
ready
already
to
got
set
our
out.
food for the day, I believe.
Masturbate.
You've not got your food for the day.
Oh.
You've basically grabbed enough for breakfast. Bear in mind
Oh,
the idea
well,
of
yeah.
so-
foraging
so
is you do it as
anyways.
you go.
I'm rock hard.
Who was the one who
Yeah.
actually got given the list of directions?
Cobalt.
I would have thought
Cobalt.
Anwar would have given he had the paper.
Was it? All right.
It was his paper,
I know it was.
Well,
we'll say
parchment.
Anwar then. Honestly, it was one of you two because you two were the ones that she was getting along with Flynt.
Are you sure
Yes.
it wasn't me?
It was
I-
definitely not Kamar.
I was going to say, I think it's reasonable to say it was definitely not Kamar and Renlan.
Can
Like,
confirm, not
Are
Kamar.
you-
Yeah,
Awesome.
Renlan's a bit of a dick. She wouldn't have given it to him. Should we just say, for the sake of ease, whether it's Anwar or Cobalt, that it's Cobalt, seeing as Matt's not here?
Well, I
That's
mean,
just
Anwar's
what-
still in the party. So,
Yeah, I know.
I mean, who wants the bit of paper? What has happened?
I mean, hey, if it's
I
on
can
offer,
do it.
Renlan will take it.
I mean,
because
I'll
fine if taking charge.
I'll do it. Like I've got survival if it needs survival.
He has to
in
make
it.
any of these
Cobalt, you-
peasants take the directions.
You have the piece of parchment containing a list, and this is literally an entire sheet of parchment that is just very small writing.
Yeah.
Left, third tunnel on the right. Like every so often, it says a point of interest or something that might let you know that you're on
Yeah.
the right track. But yeah, it's very detailed.
I'd say I'll have a look around to make sure everyone's packed up. I suppose.
All right, I know I'm good to go at least.
I believe the party
yes.
is
I'd
ready.
say let's get going then. This way, and I lead the way per the instructions.
All right.
Very well, and then I'll follow him.
The fifth
For,
ed tools.
for all intents and purposes, I'm going to say in this situation, whilst you're traveling, the person who is directing you, because your attention is very much either focused on the parchment or on the walls, trying to make sure you don't miss a cavern, you basically have a disadvantage on your passive perception for anything else. And you'll be aware of this because you are having to pay much attention to these things. So if you wish to,
that's fine.
You can choose to pass that on to somebody else who you think is
actually
better with it.
Given we've got directions, would I need to be at the front or could I be in the middle, sort of thing?
You can be in the middle.
Go left here.
You can completely be in the middle if you want to, but I'm just letting you know that you won't be.
I know. I'm just saying that might make a bit more sense if I'm.
Well, I'll tell you what.
If we're going with the idea that I would be distracted, I think it would make more sense to have someone in front.
One of these maps is the right one. That's the one, actually. First pick. I'm great. G.
Oh, that means I have to leave my map. Which one is it?
Boop. I've put you on.
There you go.
Oh wait. So, Flynt.
Wait, which one did you? Was it?
That's
Sorry.
The right one for you. I literally just moved you to it. There you go.
What's my perception on this thing? Oh, there.
Yeah, but it was the same. Yeah, thank you. I was going to say it's the same time I tried to select something. So.
All right. And who am I missing?
By the way, does anybody have a link to a working 5th Ed tools page? The one we've been using down.
I sure can.
I
can link you to a.
I was going to say, I've got myth weavers. That's what you
That's not what he's asking for.
The
totally legitimate site of.
Legit, yeah.
Oh, that
Right.
Yep.
Organize your characters in that
2 seconds.
In that 10-foot wide corridor.
I mean, yeah, I'm good with being at the front, as always, either the front or the back.
At this point, the only specific that's needed is that Stool is staying close to Kamar and is attempting to. And if that was the position you'd be in, she wouldn't be in Anwar's place. She'd have to be where Flynt is.
Don't look for me.
Would have to be where Flynt is.
I know why. Yeah, you missed it at the end. Yeah, I see that.
What about just swap places with Anwar or something?
Thank you.
As in what?
I'll also send you something else after we've done.
I literally just said that, Laurie. That's the one place that he won't go.
He won't go next to me.
Yes. He wants to be next to Kamar, but not next to Cobalt.
I'm fine with that. After all, I've got my my entire fan base of Anwar right there, so fine with it.
That works with me.
All of Anwar.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Let's give me 2 seconds to check something. That means absolutely nothing to you guys. Don't worry about it. Stop questioning me.
Okay. I will.
You can't make me.
And if we just observe to the right, we can see our previous squad of people who are mostly either dead or
there were
missing.
more people in it back there.
Yeah.
The squad has shrunk, then enlarged, then shrunk again.
It does that.
The day
it is quite cold down here.
The day is basically like any other. You spend it travelling through tunnel after tunnel. This time with the strange silence of the Underdark being broken up not only by the strange dripping noise that has followed you the entire time you've been down here, but also the every so often Cobalt calling out, left here, this right, next cave on the left, to keep the party en route. As the day goes on, the tunnels are just your stereotyped rocky tunnels, lined every so often with various fungal growths. Seems to be quite prominent with shelf-life fungus that a few times Eldif stops and carves bits off, as does Flynt, who is also good at scrounging things in the Underdark.
I will help.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Now it all goes wrong.
With Eldif and Flynt actually pointing it out to you, it is fairly obvious which of these to go. Like these shelf-life fungal growths are quite large, and you're able to take like a fair amount of it. Basically,
you don't have a long shelf life.
Literally the worst. day goes on. After 6-7 hours of traveling, Eldith kind of stops and looks back, as if she's spotted something, and like holds up a hand to try and get everybody's attention without being overly noisy. This in and of itself would not really alert the people in front of her, so it's up to others. Like Anwar, Renlan, Kamar, and Stool would not notice this necessarily. Like she's more focused on what she thought she saw than she is on stopping you guys.
Okay.
Well, is anyone going to do anything about that, or am I just going to keep walking?
I mean, I just keep
Cobalt
walking.
is the only one here that saw it.
Oh, I was about to say I'm the only one that gets to. Even if Matt was here, he's in front of me anyway.
Yeah, it's literally just Cobalt of the player characters that saw this.
I just kind of say, can I say it quietly? Just like, hold up.
Do I hear that?
Yeah, you all hear that.
Okay, I'll stop and sort
Yeah,
of give
stop.
a quizzical look back behind me.
You look back and you can see Eldith is basically stood there scanning a wall quite intently, seemingly trying to look for something.
I'll look in the same direction. Do I notice anything?
Roll an investigation check.
I completely dismiss this out of hand, saying, ugh, dwarfs in their caves.
I'll just say, doesn't seem to be anything there. What's troubling you?
Thought I saw
Of course, I got 7.
Thought I saw something skittering in the dark, but
Does she look like she's just looking at a wall right now?
kind of. Well, her head is moving around as if she's scanning areas of the wall, but yes.
I'm going out on a limb here.
Okay.
Carefully,
Which is difficult
many
for
of
you
those
to
left.
Yeah.
Is Kamar currently emitting the sun?
He is.
Yeah.
There is always light coming from. I'm going to assume there's always at least like medium light coming from.
The thing is,
Thornborough,
I would
because
assume
she would
generally if
complain
he's
about it.
awake, given how he is and the sword,
I
he's
have
always
no
got
reason...
it on full
Yeah,
blast.
I've
full
never
blast?
got a reason to turn
Alright.
it off full blast apart from never sleeping.
That's fine.
In my mind.
It is on full
So
blast then.
that's
I mean-
90 feet out, isn't it?
It's like 120.
I will
think.
say now that, and you would very much be aware of this, in a place like the Underdark, that is a beacon that will draw literally everything to you, just as long as you're aware.
You
Cool.
act like I'm afraid of fighting.
That's fine. I'm just making sure the mechanics are known.
I'll try listening
it's
out.
120 foot.
Maybe I can hear something skittering around. Since I
That
clearly
was
can't see anything.
That was part of the investigation check.
okay.
do
Can I-
not see anything.
Can I also have a Ganders then?
Yeah, roll investigation.
She said she saw
Oh.
something.
The light is only 30 feet from the sword.
Is it 30 and 30 though, maybe?
Maybe, hang on.
It's 30 and 30,
really-
but bearing in mind that's just what it lights up. It's still
Yeah, you can
like,
see, it from a long
light
way
from a
away.
distance,
Oh,
even
yeah,
if it's not
yeah,
lighting up the
Stars,
area
for
around you.
example.
That's fine, I just thought it...
Investigation, wasn't it?
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, that's just straight D20. No, nah.
Yeah, neither of you two see anything, and at this point, Eldith kind of shakes her head and says, "Must be the Underdark getting to me. Sorry." And she kind of
Well,
turns around.
shadows.
I'll
carries
say,
on.
well, keep your eyes peeled. We could get attacked by anything with all this light.
You know, I never understood that turn of phrase. Just like, peel your eye... No. Ew, gross.
I guess like eyelids, as in like you're peeling off something, but no.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Just-
Oh
it's
God!
so
Stop peeling
weird.
your eyes.
Like, don't just jam potato peeler in your eye and swish that about.
Maybe it's
The-
because if you're peeling onions, your eyes would kind of end up being closed because of the acidic thing.
The group carries on for another 5 or 10 minutes, and then again, Eldith suddenly stops and raises a hand, again looking behind you, this time more towards the roof, like at the darkness.
I will look once again.
Well, again, it is only Cobalt that notices this, with her being in the back.
I just.
Oh,
sort of
sorry, I
say-
thought you meant. Yeah.
I say, hold. Again, somewhat quietly.
And again, come on, that lot can hear.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
I'll turn around and I'll also
More-
start looking around and see if I see anything.
More impatiently,
investigation.
this time, I stop.
I assist him with his investigation specifically.
Not for this check. This isn't really something you can assist with. You're both like looking independently.
Well,
You're not
Yeah,
holding
or
onto his head and saying, "Look that way, look that way." That's not how this works.
it's more. I would imagine a group work role works more in the sense that you can spend a bit more time looking at a particular
Okay.
area each. Would be the way I would have thought it.
it's
but-
more-
That'd be
think
fine if
testing your
Eldith wasn't pointing you
independence.
at a specific area. Like, Eldith is looking at a specific area. It's not like she's saying, you know, check that bit of the cavern, that bit of the cavern, that bit of the cavern.
It's more your independent senses here, I think.
Yeah. This is just an independent check, I'm afraid. However, that said, Renlan, you still don't see anything. However, this time, Cobalt, you look up and you think you see behind a stalactite something moving. You can't quite make out what it is at first, and then you see a little bit of a beak pop out. Like, oh no, you don't. It's not popping out as if it's looking around at you. It's just popping out as if it's not quite hidden as well as it had hoped.
As if what?
As if it's not hidden as well as it hoped. Like, it's still looking like it's trying to keep itself away from you, but it's just unfortunately not angled itself properly, and you can see the tip of a beak sticking out from behind the stalactite.
How far away is it?
From you guys, it is about... Well, from you specifically, Cobalt, it is about...
Yes.
30 feet. 30 feet in... down the tunnel, and 10 feet up. So about... we'll say 35 feet away.
I shout, you can stop to admire the dwarven architecture later. Let's keep moving. Yes, I'm aware.
Are you carrying on moving with that, or...?
I am going
Why is Shusha here?
Why is Shusha
that's roughly where it is, whatever it is.
It's not, it's behind you.
That's what I wanted.
Oh, well, guess I was wrong then, huh?
That's not great.
Actually, I don't want to put this token on there. So, specifically, it is... There.
Why don't clerics learn magic missile?
Because that's an arcane...
I know
that's the
why
standard...
they don't.
No, stop!
I know why they don't.
Curious question. Are wizards the only people who can learn magic missile?
Sorcerers can.
Yeah, sorcerers can. But sorcerers are basically just charismatic wizards.
Makes sense.
Wizards are the ones that have just buried themselves in their books all day. They're the nerds. Sorcerers are the cool wizards.
Nerds.
Wizards are the one that had to put in the hard work. Sorcerers just kind of go, I'll wing it.
Sorcerers are the superheroes. They quite literally just get their powers. They're the mutants.
Yeah.
Sorcerers are that guy.
And then warlocks are the ones that kind of walk up to someone and go, hey, can you, give me some of the good shit?
Anyway,
we're now turning D&D into a high school drama, is what we're saying.
You're saying it's
it
not.
would totally work.
Yes, it would.
God.
I'm surprised I haven't been done, actually.
Yeah.
Against my better judgment here, I'm going to attempt to guiding bolt this thing.
Bear in mind, right now, all you can see is the edge of its beak.
I agree with this.
Like, it basically has almost complete cover. You've got enough to get a shot at it. Not quite complete, so you can get a shot.
I'm going with it's probably 3/4 cover then.
It is 3/4 cover.
Which would be +5 AC.
Guiding bolt the beak, obviously.
Is that why we're talking about magic missile? Because it's in cover.
I'm guessing yes.
Yeah, magic missile is just auto hit.
Yep.
Right.
That's why it's so cool.
Roll your attack roll.
So, I'm going to regret this.
The fact that it gets stronger when you level up just makes it ridiculous.
Oh wait, hang on a second. Before I guiding bolt, let me just double check this.
I know I'm being mean here, but I'd actually say this is more than 3/4 cover, so I'm actually going to give you disadvantage on this as well. Like, it is literally just the tip of a beak sticking out. It's not much at all.
Enough
beacon has been lit!
That's fine, because I'm not guiding bolting it anymore. I am sacred flaming it.
He spontaneously learned magic missile.
So it has to roll a dexterity save.
It has to make a dex save, which I believe it has advantage on.
It does.
Well, the point is it's a cantrip rather than a first level spell
That's
slot.
fair.
That is fair. I wish I had cantrips.
So that's 10 plus 2, 12.
Genuinely don't understand why.
I don't think it makes that, actually.
What's DC?
Technically, on hands as a cantrip.
Fucking...
Kind of.
12?
I get
12.
So,
so close.
As a small snowball of fire appears in the next to the stalactite, the beak retreats. However, this is enough to draw everybody else's attention towards that stalactite specifically. You then all kind of watch as a strange... Well, yeah. Strange is probably just the best single word descriptor of this creature. As what is literally a mass of tentacles hanging down from what seems to be a pink open brain with a beak.
Oh,
as it rushes away from the stalactite and away from you guys into the darkness.
Recently encountered this.
Can
in the
I,
Tentacle game.
Can I Arcana this, I guess?
You can Arcana this.
Yeah,
I'm
does
assuming it's
Renlan know
Arcana
what
and not
this
nature.
is?
If you want to roll Arcana, you can roll Arcana. I would say this is you have to be proficient in Arcana to roll this one, but...
Has Kamar noticed
Then
this?
no.
I'm going to...
I mean, I roll perception.
No, I'm going to say that even Kamar, like, you saw that small snowball fireball appear next to this stalactite, and that would have drawn your attention up just as this thing had skidded off.
So
like,
for me, it's a case of like, what in the hell's are you doing? The hell is that?
You don't really make out what it is, though. You just see the shadow, because it is on the edge of your light. Like, this is not in your light, so...
I've already activated Kill It With Fire mode.
Please tell me you have a picture for this.
You want a picture of this? I can get a picture of this.
Because it looks fucking ridiculous.
It does look ridiculous. So wait, what am I rolling, sorry? If anything?
It is on the board. And you're not rolling anything, that's all you... unless you've got proficiency in Arcane. So yeah,
Go down.
that's what this thing is.
Huh. Oh, yeah. That looks worse than the picture I've seen.
That's the one from the
That looks
Monster
more
Manual.
ridiculous.
I was going to say, I showed you the one from the Monster
Yeah, the
Manual.
one in the Monster Manual looks ridiculous enough, but that one looks like a hand puppet.
That is the one from the Monster Manual.
Oh, is it?
It's just that I've cut it off to make it into a token. Like you don't get to see its
Oh.
barbed tentacles at the bottom, admittedly, this way.
I am definitely not proficient in Arcana.
Maybe it's a barber.
So, this thing has skidded off. What are you guys doing?
How big is it? What
It
size?
was,
Medium?
it was from brain to the tips of its tentacles. It was probably about 5 feet long. The brain
Now, did
itself
anyone
bigger than
actually-
a football. Probably about the
Did
size
anyone
of a beach
actually
ball.
get anything on the Arcana check? Because I
You're
only
the
got
only one
9,
that
so
can
I'm
roll.
guessing I have no idea.
You do not know what this creature is, no.
My intelligence is 8.
I'll just openly say, what
That's
is
it.
that?
I shout, some defiled, blasted creature. We must hunt it down.
No, it's run
No.
off. Let's leave.
We have a
It's
journey
gone
to
get
make,
more.
and yeah,
Charge!
it
You
is my
act-
concern. You're actually charging.
Yeah.
You do have to kind of move through the kind of packed 10-foot corridor here.
Yeah.
So it would
well,
slow you down and
just
give you a
step
chance to
aside
try and
and
stop
act
you if they wanted to.
yeah, I guess. But
I just step aside and let him and just say, I just kind of shout after him, we'll leave you behind.
I mean, yeah.
I'll just say to Cobalt, oh, carry on. He'll catch up eventually.
Oh wow, are we doing this?
I say, I fully intended to carry on.
So as Kamar rushes through the party, that everybody kind of steps aside and lets him rush by. Stool attempts to follow suit, for what it's worth, waddling after him. Is anybody stopping him?
Nope.
I kind of say, would someone please stop Stool?
Also one.
I would myself, but I would only upset him.
Okay, so here's a serious question. Once I get here, can I see this thing at all?
No, because it's rushed off. As I said, it's skidded away from
I mean,
like it's flew away
okay,
from you.
I'll rephrase. Can I see any sign of where it's gone?
We'll get to that. That'll be a survival check to track it.
Okay.
However, in regards to Stool rushing by, like, as he rushes by, we'll say that Cobalt says that as the Stool is passing by him. Flynt is going to attempt to reach out and grab him. He rolls a natural 1 in his dexterity saving throw, so Stool chases after Kamar.
To be fair, Stool only moves at 10 feet around, from what I remember.
Actually, you might be right at that. In which case...
Actually, what is it? Hang on, I've got it here.
Yeah,
In which
it's
case,
10
we should
feet.
not be-
I've got it here.
We should
in
not be
which-
making this amount of progress.
In
then.
which case, I will give Flynt advantage on that saving throw.
I would imagine that someone picks him up and carry him, or he's just constantly sort of dashing, almost. It takes
always
occasional
out of
rest.
breath.
So,
Just fucking collapses whenever we rest.
Flint does just kind of reach... Well, bear in mind as well, you're going at a slow pace, you are foraging... Well, you're not slow, but you're
Yeah.
medium pace, you're foraging and stuff, so you're not going at your combat pace, so to speak. Flint reaches down and kind of hooks Stool as he goes past, and kind of puts him under his arm, like holding him with 2 arms. Flint's actually not that strong if I'm ready. As Stool's legs, again, do the thing they were doing with Kamar, of wiggling rapidly. Like, you can see Flint is actually almost struggling to hold on to him. Somebody take the blasted mushroom off me.
So this is my
I
survival check.
can't. I would only upset him.
And that won the survival check. So do what you will with
you
me.
saw
oh
it.
Lord
You
and
saw which
DM.
way it went. You know exactly which way it went. You don't need to track
God
this thing.
damn it!
Uh,
I look
so
for it again.
you carry on. Logic would take you down the corridor if you want to carry on.
So
Do that.
Stool's currently wiggling to try and get free, isn't he?
Yes.
I just kind of sigh heavily and just shout, Kamar, I think I saw one up this way, if not 2 or 3.
Please succeed this.
At which point, as you shout this, it echoes off the cavern walls. Just give me a second to roll an encounter chance.
I'm actually gonna wince at that as well. Just like, fucking should have just let him die.
I'm no longer protected by my minions of Kamar and Stool. So if they come in from the front.
Given Stool's next to me, I will switch places with Anwar. I'll say, please, switch with me.
Fair enough. As far as you know, that noise didn't bring anything. Kamar, you do hear him say that.
Yeah, but that's got to be a deception check of some kind.
If you want, deception. That's fair.
I'll just sort of say to Cobalt, I'll say, well, let's get going.
Do I roll anything against this?
This on your part, this would be a charisma saving throw.
Wouldn't it be an insight check?
Sorry, it'd be insight. Where'd I get charisma saving throw? Oh, no, where did I get charisma saving throw from?
It makes a.
Why am I trying to lie to the paladin?
No, it's fine. I mean,
all I'm saying is actually it works out a bit, because I don't imagine your wisdom's high.
I think he has insight.
I am proficient in insight.
Yeah.
Well, let me put it this way: I am not proficient in deception, and I have a -1 charisma.
I will say I was completely trying to be nice to you guys by breezing over the idea of a deception check, but you guys decided you needed one, so.
I've already been going down the split the party route, so.
That's fair.
Okay, there you go. You beat me. So with that in mind, because I saw one going there, you said there was 2 or 3, didn't you?
I said I see 1, if not 2 or 3.
In that case, the greatest evil must win out.
At this point,
as he comes back.
Almost.
I know that I shout after I bellow down the corridor where I believe this thing has gone, and I shout, "Blasted coward monster! I'll be back for you one day."
I've continued walking, taking directions towards it.
Hold on a second. That's not what it's do.
You want to roll all those perception checks? Probably with advantage.
Give me 2 seconds just to lengthen this corridor, because...
Oh, I don't like you saying that. I really
don't.
Well,
bear in mind that whilst this all was happening, Kamar was still running after this creature. So he's not that close to you. He'll be, say... Those are the worst straight lines ever. Oh, well.
For the record, I
would say you'd be about...
I didn't dash at any point. I was only moving.
Did you not? The way you phrased it was you charged after the creature.
I was charging. My logic was I was charging into an attack. Therefore, I wouldn't want to sprint because I wouldn't be able to attack at the end.
I mean, the logic of that is in combat you would sprint. You'd get the momentum behind the swing. That is an actual thing. It used to be an actual mechanical term where you get bonuses for that, but it is
You've at least gone quite far before he.
I'll say at the very least you've got another 40 feet from there.
Sure.
Before Cobalt shouts after you. Which... give me 2 seconds.
Oh no, witches!
Yeah.
What are you wearing again, Mike? I forget.
Heavy armor?
You're wearing chainmail, aren't you?
Probably. Chainmail, yes.
Either that or it was plate or something like that.
This chainmail.
I'm the only one wearing plate. So I looted off a drow.
You are made of plates.
No, I'm made of rocks.
Sure. I also, even though I didn't mention it, it would make sense for me to have drawn my shield along the way as well.
My shield's just always been out.
As you turn around to start moving back towards the rest of the party, the creature dives from the roof of the tunnel and onto you.
Fantastic.
Which gives it two attacks.
I shout, "Blasted creature! How dare you use such cowardly tactics!"
That is a...
Damn it, creature, how dare you be so effective?
One thing I will say whilst you're running after this creature, if you just want to roll me a investigation check. Or perception check, actually.
To see the other 5 of them.
No, this is to see if he saw it before it jumped out of stealth. Basically, to see if it got advantage on these attack rolls.
Wouldn't that be perception, not investigation?
This one is perception instead of investigation, because he's not actively looking for it. This is more of a
21.
like being aware of his surroundings. 21. Yeah, you see it, so you don't. So you see this thing before it jumps down on you. It still attacks you, but it doesn't surprise you, which is good, because even without surprising you, although it attempts to peck at you and you manage to duck to the side, causing it to go over your right shoulder, the tentacles come in and all of them kind of wrap around and dart into, in between your arm and into your stomach area.
Yep.
You take...
Fantastic.
Well, first of all, actually, I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, no. Oh, no, wait, no, we will be able to see it, because of course you've got light, haven't you? I was going to say, you're out of my my dark vision range.
Fortunately, he is a beacon of, you can see this.
19.
19? Alright. So, as the barbs dig into you, you take 9 points of damage, and you can feel something seeping into your body, but
what kind
you
of damage?
manage to... this is piercing damage. So it is reduced by 2 by your... 3, sorry, by your...
3, yeah.
Yeah.
So 6, then.
So 6, yeah.
It's probably just best if you just tell him the damage and he can do the...
Well, bear in mind, I'm keeping track of damages and stuff as well.
Yep.
As the... although you manage to resist the effects of the poison that enter your system, it does still kind of... Now flying kind of the brain above you, and the tentacles all kind of digging in around your stomach area, it does basically wrap around you, and you find yourself grappled by it.
Fantastic.
Initiative time?
This is initiative time.
You'd hope so.
Hey! Teen.
Yeah.
Well,
One.
So sorry, yeah. Roll initiatives. I actually need to
that
get
makes sense.
the sheets open for Max characters. This will take me a few seconds.
And if you wait a second,
Actually, saying that, never mind, I've got them here, I think.
I just saved mine so you can refresh it.
Cool. Yeah, I was.
I like how on my sheet I clearly went with a slightly different idea when I made this thing because I typed in personality slightly intolerant.
Slightly.
Only slightly.
Hey, maybe he was like that at the beginning, but now he's been in the Underdark. He's just getting worse and worse.
I don't think I've ever played him that way. I think I've always been an angry, racist tool.
Well, you wouldn't have been. Maybe you wouldn't have been so racist if you weren't full of things that weren't humans.
After dying.
Sorry,
So, I wouldn't say you're the only one whose personality has changed.
I think mine stayed the same pretty much. I've always played Renlan as this kind of horrible git.
In my defense, I feel like dying changes you.
Yeah, probably. I imagine it would. If nothing else, it changes you from being alive to being dead.
I'll actually say I think Laurie has actively stuck to the roleplay for a character better than anybody else for one specific character, and it depresses me that the reason that was just because the character was true neutral. And he just played everything like he did.
Cleric. Oh, he was so fun to play. And it took to the end of the fucking campaign before I got to say I have no strong feelings one way or the other. I literally, when I made that character, I need to say that every time someone asks my feeling about something. Never happened until right at the end of the campaign.
I like to think I can stick to role-playing fairly accurately for my characters.
To be fair, you all can. It's just like... Laurie, in this case, just did it pretty much perfectly the entire way through, just because of that fact that he didn't have to give a shit about anything.
Yep. What do we do? I don't care.
I find it that there's always got to be something about me that fits into the characters I make, because then it's just easier to roleplay them.
Well, yeah. Honestly, it's always easy to roleplay yourself.
I always tend to try and make characters, certain characters, but I'm quite bad at kind of sticking to a personality when I make the character. Like, when I've made the character, the first few sessions, the personality will probably differ completely as to when it started and when it's after a few sessions. But that's as I kind of get into the character and figure out what I want them to be. And they're always dicks. My characters are always dicks.
So yeah, role playing yourself.
Basically, yeah.
I say that your ranger was actually quite an alright guy, wasn't he?
He was, but he had his own things, like the emphasis that he always tried to be the party diplomat, despite the fact that obviously Sean's character was much better at it. And like,
you sure?
Okay, right. No, hang on here. Sean's character might be the better diplomat, but his character
you have to eat that all in.
That's an abomination.
I was gonna say that's all one sweet right there. You have to eat it all in one go.
Yeah. Who would you like? Would you like a squashy? Yeah, one.
All right, give me 2 seconds to write these initiatives, and we'll be ready to go.
Yep.
That's a 2 for Flynt. A 18 for Turvey. A 10 for Stool. And a 9 for Anwar.
9.
Oh, and I forgot to roll for Eldith. That's a 11 for Eldith.
Oh, that's on Tuesday. Maybe.
Kamar, don't say that on the internet, Phil. I should say that. No, never mind.
Nothing being German on the internet.
Yeah, no. My mind went hugely racist there.
What are you trying to say about Germans?
I really don't know. Like my brain, just that's the immediate reaction I had. I'm a terrible person. We'll fully admit, apparently. Cobalt, what'd you get? 5.
5.
Come on, what'd you get? 9. Renlan, what'd you get?
18.
Sorry, I'm asking that in case you can tell me before I see it, but I think I beat you all to the punch anyhow.
Is it me or Turvey though who goes first?
Turvey. Wait, what's your dexterity?
16.
In that case, you go first. Also, I was about to have a go at you for doing the thing everybody does when I ask for what your what your dexterity is when you die initiatives, but you actually got it right. So well done, thank you.
What, the score and not the bonus?
Like everybody always says the bonus, and it's like, okay, so you got +2. Is one of you 15 or 14? Like that makes a difference.
That's because usually the actual score doesn't matter. Like, I don't think there's any other case where the actual score matters.
It does some. Although D&D 5th less so because you get +2 bonuses to your abilities when you level up. But in other systems,
I was going to say it also less so because very rarely do you have an odd number.
Yeah, because there's no reason
There's just
to have
no major benefit to it generally.
Yeah.
Well, again, that's because you get +2 bonuses in this, as opposed to the other systems where you get +1 per level 4 or something like that. Like I grew up on D&D 3.5.
No, to be fair, you do get +1 bonuses. It's just you get 2 +1 bonuses.
That's true. But there's usually very little reason to take those unless you set it up in a previous level up. Anyway,
I was going to say it's normally only at character creation.
Fighting time.
Renlan, you are the first to react here. Who is underneath Flynt there? Why has he got a... Oh, he's holding on to you.
That's Stool.
Yep. Alright. So Renlan, you're the first to react. You've just seen this thing drop down and basically attempt to grab onto Kamar. Like he is tangled in tentacles.
Good gods. Kamar's causing trouble. As usual, we should be getting on.
I hope you're cursing to the right gods.
14.
On what?
On my attack with my...
Is this Eldritch Blast?
Eldritch Blast.
What's the range on that?
Yeah, can you
120 feet.
Oh yeah, that's in range, never mind. 14 is a... Bearing in mind he's grappling now. Sorry, I always forget how this works. How does grapple affect AC?
It doesn't.
It doesn't. You don't get cover from the person you're grappling.
I don't believe so.
I've never heard of
it. It doesn't specify it does.
What you did for some reason, that might be in the system.
You could argue he is half covered, I suppose.
If it's not in the rules, I'm fine with it being normal. I might be thinking of a different
like hovering
system.
above Kamar anyway.
It's all around him. Like it's holding on to him.
It's grabbed onto him.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I'm still doing the attack.
That's fine. I'm just double checking.
In general,
for my sake here.
In general, if there is someone between you and your target, that's considered half cover.
Yeah.
Which, considering how many people are between you and your target.
Well,
if it's difficult for me to see, then I'll move and do it.
I will say.
How well can I see? Bear in mind.
All right, yeah. If you move past the group to the point where you have none of the group around you between you and the creature, I will say that you have a normal shot on it. Yeah.
Okay, so while I was doing the talking, I'll be sort of slowly walking and go, oh, fine, and then...
So a green orb flies from your hand and smashes against the brain-like part of the creature. Roll damage.
9 force damage.
9 force.
Brain-like part, that's all of it. You hit all of it.
I mean, it's also all tentacles.
Yeah.
Mostly tentacles, in fact. And
Does
beak.
your brain not have tentacles?
Mike, do we need to have an anatomy lesson?
I mean, all brains kind of have tentacles.
No.
Kind of.
Actually, I
they're
guess,
not tentacles.
I guess connecting them to the spinal column and...
The brainstem isn't a tentacle. It's a stem.
Veins, arteries,
Kind of.
tentacally. Tenderly.
We're not getting in. We're not getting into the what defines a tentacle here. We're D&Ding, damn it.
Because there's a
you
H
have to
word this ends up
censor it
in.
in
I don't know what you
Japan
guys
or
are like.
Hot. That's where it ends up in.
Turvy
Oh, that's
is
what I was going for.
shocked and doesn't do any. Doesn't know what to do. The Grell.
Rel?
The Grell is going to attack its grappled target. Since it's grappled you, it gets advantage on attacks.
Fantastic. I still have 18 AC.
You do still have 18 AC. That's a crit.
Only 18
Okay,
AC.
then.
And that's a hit. So it manages to pull its tentacles out a bit and then dig them straight back in, digging further into the wounds that it had already created. And as it does that, the brain comes down and forces the beak into your neck. So I need another Constitution saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
And it's rolling crit damage for the barbs. So that's 9 points of piercing down to 6.
Con
And
save. Plus 2.
6. So total of 10 points of damage. That's including your DR3 on both of them. So,
now you're certain it's not disease damage.
it is not disease damage. It is both
I
piercing.
feel like it could be if it tried
Both
harder.
piercing damage.
So how much was it, sorry?
It was 10 total.
10 total.
Yeah, that's including all the negatives and stuff. I like that art, actually. Again, you feel the poison seeping into your body, and you can actually feel it attempting to harden your muscles and
Get you hard.
cause and paralyze you from the inside. But you do manage to resist the effects again, still being held in its grasp, however, with this beak stuck in your neck, and it's a very unpleasant situation. Eldith is going to rush forwards. She gets there, bringing out her Warhammer. Always forget this. Bringing out her Warhammer as she moves.
If it's not a Warhammer, you're a tremendous racist for thinking all dwarves have hammers.
It is a Warhammer.
Stool flaps his legs. Anwar is going to pop to the other side of Flynt, crouch down and take aim with his gun. And that is a natural 1. As he brings the gun into place, there is a loud... As Anwar realises he forgot to load it this time. In the excitement. Kamar, your turn.
Baby, I swear. It doesn't normally happen this way.
Just a note for future, it seems that Beanie tends to do little giveaways in the naming of his stream. Like how it's tentacle time.
Oh, okay.
I'm always willing to give away a bit of tentacle time. Mostly to Kamar.
I had noticed that. Seems quite apparent at this point.
I think I've used that title before as well, but I'm not sure. I think I used it when the Demogorgon was a thing. Either way. So Kamar, what are you doing?
Okay, so I'm gonna smite the shit out of this guy.
Cool.
And I'm gonna do the good old doubling up on smite.
Seems fair.
Because this thing has wronged me on a religious level. So that's just a regular attack. I'm also going. So my divine smite is in my paladin one. I declare that when I hit, but I have to declare searing smite before, I guess.
Yes, searing smite takes a bonus action.
Because it's a concentration, right?
Well, you have to. It's a spell. You have to cast it before you do the attack.
Yeah, but it is also a concentration spell, meaning that if I miss, it stays active until I.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
So yeah. So searing smite, and which I will just find what it actually does because I don't remember exactly. I think it sets him on fire.
It's a spell, isn't it?
Yeah. 1 second. First level.
Pardon me.
Paladin is on here somewhere.
So I'm getting up on my phone as well.
First level, Paladin. Searing Smite. Okay, next time you hit a creature, blah 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 blah. 1d6 fire damage and cause the target to ignite in flames. At the start of each of its turns, until the spell ends, the target must make a Constitution saving throw on a failsafe. But we'll do that if I actually make it. So
first thing that happens is you focus your faith, and Dawnbringer suddenly alights with a fire, as opposed to just the sun that she is normally alight with.
Yep. So, does the sword react to this at all?
You hear a hee in your head, as if this is something that she likes. More light. It doesn't burn her.
I mean, I guess. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Like, do you really only have a +2 to hit?
No, the Dawnbringer gives plus.
You're looking at his Constitution save there, Phil. You're looking at his Constitution save. He's not rolled his attack yet.
No. You're right.
Sorry, I thought you said he had.
No, not yet. No, I was still sorting shit out. So it's actually +7 to hit with Dawnbringer.
Sounds right.
That's a 20. Not natural, but 20 all the same.
That's a hit. Roll your damage.
Getting a nat 20 on this roll would be very painful. Okay, so it's the actual damage plus 1d6 fire damage plus 2d8 radiant damage plus whatever radiant damage Dawnbringer does.
I don't think Dawnbringer actually does any radiant damage against this.
Deals an extra 1d8 radiant damage against fiends and undead.
Yeah, this thing is neither of those.
Fair enough. Okay, so first of all, my actual attack. This is actually a lot of math. Why did I accidentally make a math character? Why have I done this to myself? So
right.
First of all, /1d8.
It's not that mathy if you just write it down all the time.
I still remember Jaeger's character sheet, which was just the back of it was just a spreadsheet.
Yeah,
like,
that's
this is
exactly
this attack,
what
this
my
is this type of feat.
that's what my ranger turned into on Pathfinder.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna straight up do 3d8 plus 5.
Finder is Mathfinder.
That includes my smite. So 20 damage with just the divine smite, and then the 1d6 fire.
Now, you would normally
and then
have to
fire, and it ignites.
You would normally have to roll this separately if it had resistance against either slashing or radiant, but in this case, it's fine. So that is 22 points of damage.
And it also ignites in flames, which means...
does. On its following turns, it has to make a Constitution save or take damage. The first successful save it makes cancels the effect.
Okay, cool. And it's on fire, so it sheds light as well, I guess.
The creature screeches as the blade kind of sinks in. You basically pick your blade up and slam it in above your head into this brain, which starts bleeding a blackish, bluish gunk.
Yeah. I shout something to the effect of, "By Palor's might, I shall slay the abhorrent beast," and then slam my sword into it and does all the lovely shit.
The rest of you are now kind of looking at Kamar, grappled by tentacles, which is on fire. It's a whole bundle of...
I mean, it was a problem before the thing grappled him, but now it's just a larger problem.
Cobalt, your turn.
Wait, now it's on fire. Does it drop the grapple?
No.
I
Alright.
just kind of, once again, sigh. Just like, if only he didn't run off. We could have just left Kamar here.
Thanks for saving me.
Even
though right now I'm saving
we've
myself.
not leveled up yet, so I can only move there, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That should be fine. How wounded does this thing look?
I mean,
it's on fire.
It's on fire and has a blade sticking out quite literally out of its brain. So
it's
pretty
mostly
wounded.
brain.
Yeah, you'd think.
I'm a Sacred Flame it again.
Alright.
More fire.
It's not worth a slot.
I will say it gets disadvantage on this dexterity saving throw because it's currently grappling somebody. So it's
DC
trying to
12.
not move out of place. DC 12.
Yes.
That's a 10. So it takes damage.
Neat. That was the wrong thing. I want that one. Sacred Flames. So it takes a whole D8.
Roll damage.
It might be enough.
Oh my god, Beanie.
Hmm?
I'm a dumbass. I just read the last part of Sacred Flame.
What's it do? What?
Target gains no benefit from cover for the saving throw.
Well,
Sorry, I had not read it.
That's what I don't didn't expect you to have read it as well. But I'm a dumbass. 4 radiant.
4 radiant.
4 radiant.
You can
Yes.
you actually can't really tell if you've hit this thing or not. Like, it's already on fire. You don't really see your bit of fire appearing in the midst.
No.
But it does.
Oh no, it's going to hurt Kamar some more. Oh no.
It does let out a as it does seem to take damage.
I take that to mean I have inflicted injury on it.
Flynt,
is it hurt? I don't know.
Flynt is still attempting to hold on to stool. Point actually while I'm thinking about it. Oh no, Flint's strength is actually quite a bit higher than I thought it was. For some reason, I thought it was low strength.
He's a melee.
Yeah.
Character.
I thought he still did all his stuff with Constitution. I don't know why I had that in my head because it's obviously not right. But either way, he's still holding on to Stool, who's squirming and squiggling. Renlan.
16 to attack. Same
That's a
again.
hit.
Excuse me.
Only 4 force damage this time.
I would say you have to kind of move up at least 1 space just so Cobalt's not in your way between you and Kamar. But that's it.
Sure.
And yeah, again, another green orb flings from your hand and smashes against the brain of the creature. It is still holding tight, however. Turvey moves forwards, bringing out and loading his hand crossbow as he does so. In fact, no, he's going to not get in the way of the ranged people. Instead, he brings out his crossbow and gets it ready in case he gets a shot on the creature.
I like the idea. He goes forward and he goes, nope.
It is then the Grell's turn. It
Oh boy.
suddenly lifts upwards, taking Kamar with it. Like, this is a
Must
very...
go, your planet
This
needs you.
is
Impressive.
This is a very painful flight as well for you, Kamar. Like, this is hooks, like barbs, in your skin, pointed upwards, that are lifting you up by your internal organs kind of thing.
I shout in manly agony.
It lifts you up. I'm going to... it lifts you up to the roof about 20 feet up, we'll say. And back another 10. So... Okay, I'm actually clicking on map tools now and it's not doing things. That's weird.
Where's it going?
2 seconds.
You need to refresh.
No, I need to actually sort. Okay, there we go.
I'm just asking if you want to refresh the server, but yeah, sure.
No. For some reason, my cursor was just being weird on map tools. It then gets its attacks on you again as its action. That's 1 hit of the barbs. Again, at advantage because you're grappled, and that's a hit of the beak as well.
Oh, damn it.
Roll me a Constitution save.
It's +2.
5 and 8 knocks down to
Oh, damn it.
2 and 5, so that's 7 total damage.
I failed that one.
And that's a fail, yeah. So,
Do you have inspiration?
Yes, although, am I able to roll it now? Seems a bit late.
I will, well, normally when I tell you the results,
I knew it was going to be a fail, is the thing.
yeah, fair. I'll say you can add the inspiration.
It's an extra, how much?
1d4.
1d4. Alright.
Different to the mechanical rules, I know. I have my own home rules for action dice.
That did not help.
Still, yeah,
Well,
it
You
doesn't.
never know, it could be DC 10.
Goodbye,
actually.
inspiration.
And the flames give out as well, for what it's worth. As Kamar suddenly goes limp, completely paralysed by the paralytic poison entering your body.
How much damage did I take?
You took, what was it?
7, I think you said.
I think it's, yeah, 7.
That was
you
after
should,
your reductions.
You should be down to 5, for what it's worth.
Yep.
It is then Eldif's turn. She is going to rush up. Like, her rush forward suddenly comes to a very slow kind of halt as she kind of looks at her warhammer and then up at you, like 20 feet above her.
Look at the warhammer, then up at you. Now look at the warhammer, now back at you.
She will step
Your
as
corpse
close.
is now poisoned.
She'll step under, but she can't really get to you to
She
do
has a
anything.
crossbow, doesn't she?
No. She doesn't. She has a warhammer. Stool kind of stops wiggling as he recognises the tenseness of the situation, but is still held in place. Anwar, now the creature is high up. There's still a lot of glowing happening for Kamar, so even if it's out of dark vision, it's fine.
Yeah.
He is going to take a shot.
Shots.
My God, I'm sorry, Matt. I'm just not doing
Shots
Anwar.
of what, though?
There is a loud bang as his strange weapon explodes once more, and a metal pellet goes flying towards the wall. Kamar, your turn. You are currently paralysed.
It's at the end of your turn you roll the resistance, isn't it?
Yeah, you get to reroll the save. This is at the end of your turn, though. So at the very least, you've missed this turn.
Fantastic.
But you can roll to resist at the end of your turn.
How far in the air is he?
20 feet.
Oh dear.
So that would mean that I'd still get a reaction though if I succeeded this, right?
You'd get reactions, but only reactions this turn.
16.
That's fine. So you, although it managed to control your body for a few seconds, you managed to finally shrug off the effects and look down as you realise that although you kind of pinned in place with this creature with your sword in it and its barbs in you, you are currently 20 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
That's your turn. Cobalt.
I did not get to be this angry and stupid by being afraid of heights.
I move another 25 feet.
Cool.
Then I go for the guiding bolt.
All right, roll your attack.
That's 20, not on that 20.
That's a hit.
I should hope so. It's not me.
It's when you get the times when you feel like, and I rolled a 21. Yeah, that's a miss. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Especially when you've been in a combat where up to this point a 15's been a hit. It's like, wait, either the DM's a dick or something just changed. Shit just got real.
Just make sure I've got the right damage here. Spell attack on a hit takes that. Oh, I didn't even need to move for that. I'm going to, but I didn't need to.
It might just be the fact that I'm a psychopathic DM, but this bit of artwork on map tools right now, that I like.
Got the squawk.
You're welcome.
It takes 10 radiant damage, and the next attack roll made against it has advantage.
So as Cobalt brings his... Your shield is your holy symbol, isn't it?
Yes.
Right, yeah. So as you bring your shield forwards, a bolt of light shoots from it and wraps around the creature, causing it to shriek in pain as it does so. It is very strangely, despite all the other light being around it, now it really is a beacon for an attack.
Its beak is a beacon.
I take this as a sign.
I go, yes, good old Gond doing the Lord's work.
Flynt notices that Stool's gone quiet, and Anwar and Renlan can hear him muttering to Stool, "Now, if I put you down and help in the fight, are you going to run away?" Good, and he puts Stool on the floor. That is unfortunately his turn.
He drops Stool.
Renlan, your turn.
He pooped on the floor.
12.
That's a hit.
Wow, really? Okay.
That's an exact hit.
5.
Excuse me.
Another green bolt smashes against it, cracking against it, and now there is quite a... the brain is pulsating quite noticeably now, and leaking this strange blackish bluish...
Sorry, just to cut in for a second here, for what it's worth, you would have had advantage.
That is true. In case it was a crit, you can re-roll.
In case it was a crit, what?
So roll a d20, if it's natural 20, this was a crit.
Yeah, so re-roll your...
No, you're fine.
No.
That uses up the advantage.
It does use up the advantage, though, yeah.
Slightly better.
Turvey is going to move forwards, although unsure as to what he can do.
Got a crossbow, didn't he?
You're out of range of his hand crossbow. Okay. And he'd be too afraid of hitting you with that. He's not confident in his combat abilities. So
What a wuss.
the Grell gets its turn again.
It's not like I get irrationally angry over every little slight. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm. It's going to carry on another 30 feet down the corridor.
Is it dashing?
Nope, it's just moving.
I mean, it's pretty ugly.
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to have half movement if you're grappling.
You might be right there, actually. I might be an idiot.
It would make sense.
Now,
You're dragging an unwilling someone with you.
I will say, in that case, yes, it gets half movement this time because I forgot about it the last turn, but I also forgot to move him the first turn. I'm going to say that basically cancels each other out, so it's basically been moving each turn. I'm an idiot. But yes, you're correct. It should only get half movement. For some reason, I thought I had an ability that bypassed that. I'm an idiot.
I mean, it might do, I suppose. I don't know.
As you're approaching,
Considering it already gets 2 attacks.
it's those that are actually saying that only Eldith and Kamar really notice this. It is flying seemingly towards a higher up hole in the wall. It looks like it's going towards a small tunnel near the ceiling at this point. And it is going to attack with advantage Kamar again.
I don't think it's missed yet, you know.
It's got advantage on these attacks.
I know.
It missed its
It's still
first beak.
missing
It
advantage.
missed its first beak attack against you.
Oh, at least it missed 1.
It's also crit you as well. It's been really lucky. That's a hit with its barbs,
Of course it is.
and a hit with its beak.
Oh, didn't crit me this turn. Great.
It basically set itself up for this fight. It got one of you alone and did exactly what it does well.
No, I understand that, but the dice are being shit
That's fair.
for me.
You take.
I'm very much down from this.
Yeah, you are.
I've only
That's.
got 5 life.
However, no, it's not going to outright kill you in this way. So yes,
I won't outright
suddenly.
kill me. Unless it does like 33
No,
damage.
it's not going to do that
somehow.
much. Not unless it crits, which it didn't. So suddenly, Kamar, you feel once more the barbs dig in, the beak once more go for your throat, and you just finally can't help but fall into unconsciousness. As the rest of you kind of see, Kamar goes limp once more. Although this is the second time he's gone limp in its arms, so you're not sure what the deal is there.
That's probably fine.
No, the other time he didn't go limp, he just went very stiff.
Eldith is going to. Sorry, 2 seconds. She looks around helplessly, like really not knowing what she can do here. And just runs underneath as if to catch Kamar if he falls.
Convenient.
Stool, now placed on the floor, just kind of drops to the floor in a very not sure what to do and very scared of the situation stance. Anwar is going to take
Beanie,
another
your
shot.
downloading Homestead is actually making your sound and your cam stop.
I'm not downloading anything. Division's already downloaded.
Oh, is it?
Audible.
Well,
Yeah, it downloaded about half an hour to an hour ago.
Didn't actually take that long, considering how big it is.
Nope. It was downloading at the start of this, but the reason I kept it on was because it was almost done.
Same here.
Sorry, beyond that, I can't help it if I'm getting laggy issues. Although my stream's going all right. I've not lost any frames on that or anything. Very strange.
Discord.
Probably Discord's not the greatest when it comes to calls, unfortunately.
I would argue it's better than Skype.
Actually, yeah, that's fair, but that's not saying much. That's the problem. We need a good devoted thing. Hopefully it's out of date. Oh, hopefully it's got a few more updates.
whose turn is it?
It's Anwar. I'm just rolling from. Anwar's shot misses by one.
Shots.
Again, there's an explosion as another metal pellet goes ricocheting off the walls. Kamar, you need to roll me a death save.
Cool. It's just
Done.
a d20, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
That's a
That's
fail.
one fail. Almost two fails.
Almost 2 fails.
Cobalt, your turn.
Oh boy, I can't wait to die today.
Yeah, wouldn't it be awkward if you automatically got a death save from falling all that way?
And then crit. Or maybe just after 2 turns.
Falling wouldn't give you 2 death saves. It would give you
No.
1.
If you crit the death save, failed, sorry.
Yeah, but you can't
Well,
crit the
for-
falling damage.
For now, Cobalt, what are you doing?
Double checking things.
I love it when people I'm nervous about actions.
I mean, I'm not.
I'm not really nervous, 'cause at the end of the day, either I can do what I'm
Don't spoil it for
or
me.
I
This is what I live for, Phil. Need to make my players live in fair.
I mean, ultimately, I'm not afraid.
yeah,
It's just-
sorry about this, Mike. I can't heal you.
Okay, why not?
Not me.
Because you're up in the air to start with.
Oh right, yeah.
I
Touch.
can fix that.
Yeah, I can fix that. The problem is I can't heal him right now, which
Yeah,
is
I can.
kind of the more pressing issue here.
I mean, I can fix that when I wake up. If I wake up.
You can, but that's kind of the issue. You need to wake up.
Yeah, the annoying thing is because I just got paralyzed. Like that one turn, I actually only got to do one turn, by the way.
Yeah,
Yes.
you did.
Ever only get one turn
Mm-hmm.
because sneak attack Reaper didn't, and then
Kamar is losing the hard way.
got one hit where I did everything I could, and then just been paralyzed.
It very
I just
accidentally
kind of-
took probably one of the biggest damage dealers out of the combat, like straight away.
I move forward, saying, "Prepare to catch him, Eldith."
She drops her warhammer. You can see that she was basically readying herself for this in the first
For
place.
the record,
Well,
if I had actually killed this thing and it was about to drop me, I would have said, "Catch me, catch me, catch me!" Fully prepared
I'm just
to
gonna
watch it just
say,
go,
I
like-
can't heal him from where he is. Need to kill
Dwarf.
this thing quickly. And I,
And shoot the damn thing,
I,
is what she says,
I
not me.
I
I'm
got
quite happy if you don't
I
want to.
guiding bolt it.
Alright, roll your
Kamar
attack.
says, "Yeah, shoot the damn thing." I don't
It's
want to
better be
die,
a hit.
but if I was gonna die, this is how it was gonna happen.
16.
Being dragged away by a tentacle monster?
Yeah, one of my own design is all I'm saying.
That's fair. That's a hit.
16.
That's a hit.
You better hope this does a lot of damage.
I do. I've always hoped this.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a-
18 radiant.
That's a lot of damage.
Unfortunately, it was only on 2 health.
Oh,
So
wow,
as the
what a
bolt
waste.
wraps itself around it once more and the radiant energy comes in, the creature goes limp. And
There's
the
no
two
feel like
forms,
overkill.
as one, fall towards the floor. Eldith
Eldith can catch
is going to roll
all
a
of
dexterity
that.
save. She
gonna
makes
roll a
she makes the save. However, so she's going to. The way I'm going to see this as working is she is cushioning the blow for Kamar. However,
Oh, for the record, I don't give a shit if I kill Eldith.
Kamar and the creature together are a lot of weight from a fairly high distance. It's going to hurt Eldith a bit, so I'm going to roll twice the falling damage for her.
She has a full health. She could probably handle it.
Wow. To be fair, actually,
I mean, if you think about it, it should be like 2.5 the falling damage.
God.
wait, when you say twice the falling damage, as in the falling damage for both of those two doubled? Or just both of their
No,
falling
just
damage?
both of their falling
Yeah.
damage, effectively.
I
So
assume
it's
because,
4d6.
like,
That's
yeah,
not too bad, that's
V plus
46.
the
For what it's worth, that 4d6 was 20 points of damage, 2 6s and a 5,
Jesus.
and a
Yeah,
3.
no.
So,
Ooh.
Eldith is knocked to the floor, almost into unconsciousness herself. Come on, roll me a death save.
Really? Death save?
I'm assuming the only person who can heal you here is Cobalt. It's going to be another of your turns before him.
I was gonna say, like, it is
He's the only-
possible you just die.
I didn't. But I did
You
fail.
did. It's a good job she
close.
caught you, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. It was.
And then I'm assuming that Cobalt, you're going to... Like, you're within range to heal him this next coming turn.
Thankfully. I rush over and I cure wounds him.
Alright.
I know he has healing, so I'll do a level 1 cure wounds.
That's fine.
So roll your heals.
That's not the
I
way
would
do
be
it.
upset if you wasted too much on me. Because
Oh, I'm already upset.
manly pride.
I've got it up here. 1d8 plus 2.
I think that went quite well, you know.
You get 6 health
I
back.
love it when random encounters get dramatic.
Just the encounter was out to get me, is all I'm saying.
The dice were very much against you there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'll fully admit that. It set itself up well. Like, it only had +4 on its attack, though. Even with advantage, it
fine.
shouldn't have been hitting you
That's-
that much.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just not only did it hit me, but it crit me like twice, 3 times.
Once. Only crit you once.
I feel like it was more than once.
It only crit you
It
once,
only
but it
crit
hit
you
you a lot. Like, it was hitting you with 2 attacks a
It
turn.
hit me. I think it hit me with every single attack apart from the first one.
Yep, it did.
It's like
Technically the second one.
I don't know what to do. about that. Like
When he wakes up,
That's fair.
18 AC.
The idea of these encounters is to be difficult. Unfortunately, the dice sometimes are dicks.
I use all 15. As soon as I wake up, I use all 15 points of lay on hands on myself.
As soon as he wakes up, I say, "Get off Eldith, you damn idiot."
At which point you hear a ow!
I look up. This is before doing lay on hands. I look up.
You see a giant brain and beak looking down at you, currently covered in blackish, bluish, gunkish blood.
I look down at Eldith, and I say, "Nice catch, short woman," and then force myself up off of him.
You kind of have to force this thing off you before you can get off her. But there is currently you're pretty sure that Eldith was a bit fatter at one before she caught Kamar.
As soon as Kamar's off her, I cure wounds Eldith.
As the cure goes through her, you can hear the crunching of bones knitting themselves together again. This was almost a one-hit KO for her.
After lay on handsing myself,
She gets
up.
Fucking really. That was a level 2 cure wounds.
Oh, so you give her the level 2.
On the plus side, I only have to put one number. I can just put a 1 next to the 3 that's already there, so it works out for me.
Yeah, so I stand up, I dust myself off, I then take my sword and I just start hacking the monster into little pieces and then say, "Vile creature," and spit on the corpse, and then say, "Right, shall we carry on?"
I just sign, just hand to head, just start rubbing my temples I don't know how a golem gets a headache, but he's getting one.
And how do you rub both your temples with a stomp hand?
I find a way. And I just
finds a way.
Now,
and I'll just say, next time, don't run off on your own, you bloody fool.
Next time, prepare to fight the hideous monster.
Next time, you will be left behind.
I
The
forget
only
what
reason
you were.
I came for you this time was because of the little one.
speaking of which, the little one again goes to Kamar's side.
I say to Stu, "It's okay, small thing. The tiny creature. The monster is gone now."
Okay, yeah.
Sorry,
I thought you put Cobalt in a place, so I just moved Stool to where he would have gone.
I didn't put Cobalt anywhere.
Oh, somebody else is moving.
Nobody puts Cobalt in a corner.
Alright. So, that all done. That was fun.
It was fun. I had fun. I mean, for the part I got to do.
I will say, I think that Anwar would do this. As you're kind of getting ready to carry on again, Anwar goes and cuts off a couple of the barbs and puts them in a pouch. I feel that that is something that Matt would do with Anwar.
That's fair.
So I'll be polite and a nice guy.
Well, every so often, assuming there's still barbs sticking out at me, I just as we're walking along, digging into the wounds, just pulling them out and chucking them away.
Actually, I can't.
You know, when people just casually just pick scabs and stuff. Kind of that, this lack of self-awareness of people around me doing something gross.
All right. So, are you guys doing anything else before you carry on?
No, I'm basically just waiting for someone to get back and actually start directing us again because it's it's completely unnecessary.
Once we get back in marching formation, I say, "Where to?" As if nothing happened.
In that case,
covered in blood.
Were you doing anything? Sorry, Phil.
No.
Okay. In that case, as Cobalt kind of directs the party onwards into the darkness once more, that is where we will take our quick loo break. Because it is 8:30, pretty much exactly. We don't start on time, but we take our breaks exactly on the dot. We're amazing at that.
We are those employees.
We're very good at suddenly doing nothing.
It's very true.
You've got to have your morning coffee as soon as you get into work.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, naturally, you've got to spend half an hour catching up with everyone.
Speaking of, that's what
I've actually got to that point where I justified, I try and justify as much to myself, I don't need to go into the lab straight away. I can go and sit in the office and have a coffee and, read from my emails and stuff. That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, speaking of coffee, I'm going to go get one.
I'm going to go to the loo. So, speaking of coffee, urine. Billy.
BRB.
Howdy.
Ugh.
I'm back! Because I'm amazing.
God damn.
And on the plus side, the Monster Energy Drink seems to have perked me up by now as well.
An hour and 20 minutes, and we left our resting point, and then Mike decided to attack a floating brain.
To be fair, you travelled for 7 hours as well, which in an hour and 30 minutes is actually quite impressive. In fact, it's kind of breaking time.
I'd say so.
But just... I always love to see what can be done with these random encounters. Like, it's a personal challenge to myself to make these random encounters not just another fight. And I hope that comes
it's XP
across.
at the end of the day.
You know what? I'm not surprised. You were the guy that was suggesting on Divinity, after we've talked to this guy, should we just kill him? Like, he's just... Like, I just imagine that to you, any living creature is just like a bag with a number on it. Like,
Oh, no, not exactly. I mean, everyone has its uses. I mean, once we've completed all of the quests in that town, bought everything we want from them, we can just fight all of them if we wanted to.
We could. I would not do that. That would ruin the immersion of the game so much for me. Like, and it would also break the economy, which is boring. Like, I say that knowing that I'm stealing literally everything that's not nailed down already in that game. And it's hurting me in my private playthrough that I'm not doing that. Because I didn't go any nasty deed skills with my characters. Although, I have discovered something. I've figured out that you can actually sneak into places you wouldn't normally be able to get if you just send one of the characters to talk to somebody. And like have it so they're looking in a different direction. You can quite literally just distract them.
Very Skyrim.
Didn't realise that was a thing.
Yeah, because you can't actually see it very well, but I know in the sequel at least you've got like a light red area where they can possibly hear you, and then there's like a dark red cone of where they're looking.
Yep.
When it comes to sneaking around.
I knew that was a thing. I just hadn't put 2 and 2 together. Because like to me, coming from games like Baldur's Gate, it's like, okay, if I select to talk to somebody, I'm locked into that conversation. But then like in this one, it is literally just you put them in the conversation, then you click another character, and you can do stuff still. Like that to itself is just a really cool little concept. Deep. Now I have to figure out if I'm going to be really mean to you guys tonight. The answer is probably going to be yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, you're probably right. Sorry, actually check some things.
It's a long way away, but I'm really looking forward to Vermintide 2 coming out. So I'm gonna make it my new regular Monday stream.
That's cool.
At least.
I like Vermintide 2. I like Vermintide even. It's not one of those games I'm overhyped for. Like there's other games that are on the horizon for me that I'm much more interested in. Specifically, Final Fantasy 15 on PC because I want to play that with people, and it now has co-op. Stardew Valley's co-op because I love co-op in games. And there was another one. What was the other one? Oh yeah, well, it's not a new game coming out, but in the new year I'm hoping to get a PS4 and Bloodborne, along with a few other things. So, looking forward to that. Although, I just don't have enough time for gaming nowadays.
Well, apparently you had plenty of time for some Divinity, like just wanted to watch the two of us. We've got 3 streams of that out now.
We did, but bear in mind, that's me using 2 holiday, well, 1 whole day yesterday for it, and Wednesday evening. I probably wouldn't have played Wednesday evening if I didn't know that I had a day off the following day. Like, this job, it's not, like, because half the time when I'm at this job, I'm not doing anything, and I'm not able to, like, read a book or do anything that kind of stimulates my mind. it is ridiculously tiring. I don't know if you ever have just kind of had that job or whatever where you're literally spending hours on end doing nothing. Like, that in itself is more tiring than anything else to me. And it really has just exhausted me.
Well, I spent almost an hour at work shredding documents.
See, I'm fine with that because I'm doing something. Like, it's like actively sitting there and doing nothing. It's the nothingness that is for me. Like, not even metaphorical nothingness. It is nothingness. I can't stand it. It really is bad. And yeah, when I'm complaining about being too tired to play games in the weekdays, that's why.
Also, I feel they need to point out the reason why Phil's microphone sounds a bit weird is because his output level is far too high. So if you reduce that, then we just increase your volume on Discord. It'll be completely fine.
My output level is 100%, same as it always is.
Just say it's fine.
Well,
now.
the sound volume would be better if you reduced it, because that's why it sounds a bit off right now.
I mean, I know you guys keep saying you turn me up, so you sure you've not got me outputting at more than 100%?
I have you at 33% right now, just so you don't sound too
I was going to say, I've got him down to like 47, but even so, that he sounds fine to me now.
I'm just saying, like, you'd have a better quality microphone if you reduced the output on your end, and so everyone else had to increase you.
I am back now.
Welcome back.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, for what it's worth, I was going to say, for what it's worth, that would cause more bother to me because I'd have to change his volumes again. So I prefer if we just keep things as they are, personally.
What are we talking about?
Are we ready?
Is everybody back? Everybody good?
Yes. I'm back. I'm good.
All right. So the day carries on. You follow the instructions down to the letter. I will say that Cobalt, you need to make me an... I'm going to say this would be a survival check with advantage.
Wow.
No. This would be an intelligence check with advantage.
After that whole ordeal, would I be able to...
this is for following the instructions to the letter and, like, not... Bear in mind, you're doing this for a full day, not accidentally, like, losing your place in the parchment. I would say...
I'd
say
assume...
a wisdom check.
I would assume we have... like, I get a pen and quill or something off Anwar and just cross out the bits as we do it.
Bear in mind that would be very awkward. Like, you'd have to have somebody standing next to you with an ink pot.
You'd have to... What you could do is sort of fold the top end of the sheet down as you go, and then eventually we need to turn it down to sort of smooth it out again and start the other way around.
I fully understand that Cobalt is smart enough to kind of mark things off somehow as he's going, and that's fine. But even so, there's still the... Like, you're doing this for, like, 12 straight hours in a row. It is very easy to accidentally not mark it off once or something. So it'll be a wisdom check.
Now, because I was successfully deceived earlier into thinking there were more of those things about, I now spend the rest of the day on lookout intentionally for more of those hideous creatures.
Of course.
Like, looking for nothing else, just those things.
I'm not going to even say I was lying to him then.
I mean, yeah.
That's fair.
I see no downside to him keeping an eye out.
That's fair.
I've been informed that there were like 2, maybe even 3 more up ahead.
Well, if he sees one, he's only just going to charge it anyway.
Absolutely.
18.
It worked out well last time, didn't it?
You're completely fine as you keep your eye on the parchment and are able to mark it off every time you turn a corner or see something that is described on the parchment.
Just so I know, those death fails, they're gone now, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Right, cool.
Eventually, you find a tunnel. You get to a point where you all start to feel a bit tired and realise that you need to probably move off the route in order to camp. You're fairly able to, like, mark the tunnel and, like, mark the directions you came from when you're actively taking the time to do that. So you believe you'll be able to get back on the right track the following morning. You set up camp as normal, set your watches, and all sleep peacefully throughout the night. The only company throughout the night being the strange dripping noise that, again, has been there the entire time.
I make repeated comments about how the vile creatures seem to have been scared off at the slaying of their brethren.
When do you say this?
When we rest for the night.
I go, what vile creatures?
Oh, are you blind or merely as dense as you appear? The ones that attacked us earlier on, this very day.
Yes, I killed it. I'm well aware it's dead.
You said there were more up ahead. You weren't lying to me, were you?
Of course I was lying to you. I didn't want you running off on your own to get killed, which, by the way, you very nearly did.
Just, ignore this roll?
I'm doing this knowing full well it's not in my best interest.
Kamar will remember this.
The text appears at the top of your screen. It also says Telltale Games will also remember this weirdly.
This is a Telltale Telltale Games will be suing you. Oh shit! I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
I'll say, yes, I lied to you. It was in your best interest. Nothing wouldn't have attacked if you'd stuck with us.
At the pure shock and horror that such a faithful companion would lie to me up until this point, I am once again affirmed.
Companion.
I am once again reaffirmed that it is that the extermination of the inferior races is among my top priorities, and I sulk off to one corner of the. There is a corner
of the
in the
campsite.
I actually will also say, as he's stalking off, if it wasn't for the little one, I would have left you to run off on your own.
You say that, but he likes me more than you, so do you?
I just nod to that. It's like,
yes.
Anyways,
if you wish to get yourself killed, that is fine. Don't drag others with you.
You really want me to attack you, don't you?
No. Cobalt's really mad at you.
funnily enough, Mike, we're being chased by drow and now possibly floating brains, and we've still got places to get to.
I'm just saying, you have your job here, I have mine. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying your job is
nobody knows apart from Beanie what my job is.
It's true.
Extermination of the inferior races.
You remember that video you linked before we started playing, Mike?
the
new Tomska video. I'll let people find that for themselves rather than well, anyway.
It is pretty amazing.
It's pretty
very
amazing.
short, so it's worth a watch.
Yeah.
Or two.
I love his sense of humor.
Watching this stream.
No, that is much better than our stream. Honestly, just go watch that.
Really click off this.
Then just
oh my God,
go on a
Beanie,
Tomska playlist.
Keep your viewers.
You know what?
I have to be loyal. Tomska is a Lincolnshire guy, like myself. I have to be, you know, a bro.
You from Lincoln? You from Lincolnshire?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Now you do.
Now I do. I'm going to forget it, but I know it now.
What happens when we wake up the next day?
I'm just sorting some stuff out, which I've been trying to do, but people have been talking at me. And I'm blaming them, not me.
How dare we have polite conversations?
I mean, I wasn't being very polite. I was being very hostile.
Yeah, true.
That.
Frankly, you're just being rude right now.
Not rude, hostile.
Kamar thinks you're being quite rude.
Yeah, but Kamar also thinks he should kill basically everyone here.
Yeah.
In fact, no, you would actually kill everyone here. There isn't another human here.
No, there are some more tolerable races, like dwarves, because they're fairly religious
and fairly human.
I'm a half elf.
You're not living by my standards, so you get a pass. Yeah, like in my mind,
you get a pass.
In my mind, yeah, like in my mind, you're like a sword, basically. Just
I'm
a sword.
I am a tool to be used.
Wait, he's like a sword, so he's glowing. He's got a girl inside him somehow.
Well,
I
yeah,
am glowing.
That's exactly. That's what exactly why I put this together. So I didn't like freak out about the fact that the sword was talking to me, because, like, you know, clearly there are talking weapons out there, as evidence by this.
But I'm not a weapon. I'm a cleric.
I've seen you cast spells. That seems pretty weaponized to me.
Just punch some healing into him next time.
All right. Anyway,
next time I'll leave him to die.
Cobalt's hidden agenda aside, by which I mean his lifelong dream to be a weapon. You all wake up the following morning and set off once more on your way. This day is much like the last. It starts to feel a bit chillier. There's a bit more of a chill in the air, weirdly.
Is it 2 or 3 days till we get there, roughly?
Right now, it's still 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days.
Still a while.
Still a while.
Damn. So when you
And-
say
Wow,
chill,
okay.
do you mean like it's just cold, or is it like a breeze?
There is actual like after like, and this goes from your almost ambient temperature from when you woke up over the next 3 hours or so. It gets to the point where as you breathe, you can see your breath. It kind of stops and stabilizes at that point, but yeah.
Is there any sort of mention relating to how it might be cold in the notes Chris left
No.
us, like some sort of I don't know, ice cavern? I don't know.
It does look like you are approaching what is called the Crystal Cavern. It's possible that
Right.
is.
Okay, I just missed everything that happened in like the last 45 seconds. Either my Discord froze or my internet cut out for a sec.
Basically, we're apparently heading towards something called the Crystal Cavern.
Right. Okay.
Which I'm sure I've
do-
been used in many a thing.
I do remember
Ooh,
she
shiny.
did mention there was like the lava pools or something, was it?
There is also, yes, on it at some point there is something called the lava bridge. Yeah, that's
Lava
right.
bridge. Lava something.
So yeah, actually, you look at this and it sinks in your mind that you're currently at the point where your breath is frosting. You'll be passing through an area where quite literally, apparently, lava is a thing. Just
Well, that's later on, isn't it?
Oh,
that
it's
does look like
snow
it'll be in
lava.
at least a few days.
Of course, it's snow
right.
lava. I've played
No,
Mario
we're
Odyssey.
going through the Crystal Cavern, and it's like, no, crystals.
Crystals are cold. They look like ice.
Can I make any sort of check to know of crystals that make things cold, or just thrive in cold environments? I don't.
You know what? Because I
Um,
don't know what
Make
like I didn't know.
I will
like,
also
what-
ask Eldith this and Flynt.
Well,
You know,
first off, sorry, what were you saying there, Mike?
I'm just saying, like, because I don't know, we're going to a place called the Crystal Cavern because I've not seen the directions at all. I will just be like, oh, that's why it's called giant shards of ice. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, for what it's worth, Phil, are you proficient in Arcana?
no.
Are you proficient in History?
Again with the cutting out.
No.
In that case, there is nothing you can really roll for this. You can roll me a base intelligence check, but you're not likely to get anything unless you roll really high.
I am bouncing ideas, or I say bouncing ideas. I am talking to Flynt and Eldith about it.
I'll say, do we with them? I don't think. They might have History.
Would it, at the very least, would it just give advantage or something?
It will give you advantage, but I'm just double checking because if one of them has it, they'll get the roll and they'll tell you. They'll have a lower DC basically. They have to roll.
Yeah.
One. No, they don't. So no, yeah, just have advantage on this roll.
Just got advantage. So intelligence, did you say?
Yes.
So that's just straight D20.
Okay.
Neat. 13.
Between you, you're discussing this for a while. Every so often with you looking up and saying, "Take a left here."
Yeah.
And none of you can really think of anything that has that effect. I mean, Flynt does point out there's a lot of magical things in the world. It ain't beyond there being a crystal out there that does emanate cold.
Well, no, I kind of go with the idea. That's why I asked it in the first place. Like, crystals, cold, might be connected.
Giant shards of ice, obviously.
So, after a while, as you are going through you start to notice that the stone walls do start to grow a fairly thick layer of frost on them, and the fungal growths that you now see are more bluish and bluey pinks, like light bluish pinks, and seem to be of a kind you don't recognise. Probably that thrive in the cold. Pardon me, that thrive in the cold. After another hour of travel, you see the tunnel ahead of you widen up, and you see yourselves walking into what looks to be a larger cavern. This cavern is similar to all the other natural stone caverns you've been through, except for a few details. The specific one is that literally every stalagmite, stalactite, every wall, and the ceiling are all coated in frost. It is very much cold in this room.
Yeah, makes sense.
The other thing you notice in this room is, one of the other things is there is a layer of ice on the floor, and right now that's all you can see. Ahead of you, in the centre of the room, there is literally from the tip of it touching the floor and the other tip of it touching the ceiling. This is about a ceiling that's about 60 feet high, is a giant glowing blue crystal.
Yeah, giant eyes.
Does this appear to be the crystal cavern on the directions? Like, are we at that step in the directions?
On the directions, actually, yes, that is. This would be the next thing to cross off, you realise.
So this crystal caverns then?
Yes.
Just sort of openly in thought, I'll go, I wonder what's causing that strange glow.
I'm not sure, but this is the crystal caverns according to Skris's directions.
Well, we'll still follow the directions, but either way, hopefully we don't have to go too close to that thing. I imagine it attracts quite a lot of attention. If we're not bringing enough of it into this place, I then start looking at Kamar.
I don't see the downside to this. I just shrug back.
I say, very well, let us continue and give more directions.
As you move forwards...
I will also say, be careful just on the ice. It might be pertinent to go slower as we pass through here.
Yes.
I say, with the frost on the floor, that seems wise. It's hard to kill stuff if you fall over as well, I'm thinking.
Sorry, just give me a second, I just realised something.
See, I'm still of the opinion that these are just, like, giant shards of ice, and they happen to... I'm assuming, of course, when they get cold enough, they change colours. Makes sense.
One of them is literally glowing.
Yeah, exactly. That happens when it gets cold enough.
So...
Glowing?
Little known fact there. Little factoid for you.
Well, actually, they need to have light coming from somewhere.
It is a cold glow to it. Like, it's not like it's radiating light. Like, you can see it because it is.
Right.
It's glowing enough that you can see it in the distance, despite the fact that it's not in your light. But it's not. It's dim.
It's also because there's clearly like bioluminescent mushrooms around it as well, because that's happened.
Well, yeah, no, I get that, but
obviously. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, there's a perfectly reasonable, non-magical explanation for this. Clearly, obviously.
I attempt to make a perfectly reasonable, non-magical explanation for this.
Well, as you all approach the cavern, you now get a better glimpse of the floor, and you look down to see...
Sorry, you just cut out. As you approach the place, look at the floor.
A glimpse at the floor. Like,
well, that's weird. You're getting these lag spikes from me.
I'm getting them as well. Like every so often.
I'm getting them occasionally, but not every time.
They don't happen often, but I get the feeling they're all happening to the same people at the same time.
Weird.
Like I will just cut out for like a solid 20 seconds.
I've not had any. Like I will say, like nobody has cut out for me once tonight. It might be because I'm doing the most talking as the DM, but I've
not noticed it with Laurie or Mike, but I've noticed you I've noticed your voice cut out a little bit, not too often, but your camera does freeze for me.
Yeah, like everything freezes for me every so often. I don't know if it's our internet or because I don't think it's the internet.
But then again, I don't always have Discord open, so actually,
I don't know. As long as but still, you can still hear me and stuff though, so we'll carry on either way.
Yeah.
As you get closer, your eyes are drawn to the floor, which you can now get a better view of, and you can see that this is an icy layer of floor. However, it is what's beneath the ice that suddenly fills your hearts with a fair amount of nervousness and dread. As you can see multiple humanoid figures reaching up at reaching up towards the floor from beneath, all frozen in place, all completely stock still, but with strangely preserved, almost living looks to them.
What are they, like, race-wise?
Looking down, they all seem to be humanoids of Underdark origin at the very least. You can see...
in that case, they deserved it.
Like grey skin, I assume.
So you do see Dwagar
and... flat, is it?
Sorry, just let me answer one question at a time. So you see Dwagar, Darrow, Drow, and... Dwagar, Darrow, Drow... And
Svirfneblin?
No, there's no Svirfneblin down there. You do see, however, a rock giant, which is a very
brother,
very frightful view as you see this 20-foot tall creature made entirely of rock attempting to reach, and even his fingers do stick out of the floor at bits. And what you thought at first were a couple of stalagmites clustered together actually were his middle three fingers.
In that case, upon seeing all this, I say, Vile creatures, their fate was deserved.
What were you asking me, Laurie?
I was going to say, is the entire floor flat?
Yes, the entire floor is entirely flat. There is stalagmites, but the floor itself is perfectly flat, where it's floor and not stalagmites.
I mean, the earth is flat, so why wouldn't the floor be flat?
He's got a point.
I mean, if the earth wasn't flat, why wouldn't you just trip over it all the time?
I get the feeling that
You just roll around it constantly, like you roll down a hill.
Ice is going to change in somewhat and drag us below it, so be careful as you walk.
I mean, I was going to do that anyway, because my logic is I don't want to fall through the ice and get frozen under there.
My logic is it's ice and it's slippy, so I'm going slow anyway.
Yeah, so here's the thing, because I'm genuinely afraid of the ice just breaking. Are we talking like frozen lake kind of scenario?
It looks like you can't see how thick it is. You can see that the top is obviously ice, but you can't see how thick that goes. As far as you can tell, like there's no looking at the bodies underneath, there's no movement as if they're floating in water. So your mind kind of indicates that it's probably ice all the way down, at least to the lower parts of these that you can see.
Now, bear in mind, I've only got 8 intelligence. Can I make, and I'm not proficient in Arcana, can I make an Arcana check on this?
For what? What do you want to...
See if, I know of anything that may do this. I'm going with the logic of, before I came down to the Underdark in the first place, I specifically came down here on a mission to kill things in the Underdark.
You never entered the Underdark, you were kidnapped above. You were kidnapped during the surface raids. Even if you're planning on, I will say...
just say no.
Say make an intelligence check, but it's again, it's the same logic as what I said to Cobalt earlier. It's a very high DC. Like, this is nat 20 territory.
I mean, I'm on -1, so that's physically impossible.
Natural 20 is still natural 20.
Oh, natural 20, right, okay.
Like,
you can't crit.
You can't crit a skill check, but I will be nice. And if you get a natural 20 on something like this, where I'm letting you roll, despite the fact that you don't have a good bonus, I will give you something.
I mean, it's still a -1 for what it's worth. Yeah, not even close.
No, you have no clue.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. In that case, I'm going to go with the logic of these people clearly just broke through the ice, fell through, and then froze to death under there before they could escape. Obviously, that's the most logical conclusion. So we need to spread out as much as we can. Just make sure we don't put too much weight in the same place.
Flynt kind of grumbles nervously and then says, probably best me and the big un go last if that's the case. And he gestures to Kamar as he says that. Actually, as he does that, he said, me, the big un, and the boy. Gesturing to Kamar as the big un, but not making any effort to gesture anybody for the boy, assuming that everybody by now knows who he's talking about.
I mean, that could be either Stool or Turvy.
I mean, you have seen him refer to only one person as the boy, and that is Cobalt. I mean,
it could be Eldith as well. I don't know. They all look the same to me.
Everybody except for Kamar understands this.
Yeah, you just see me looking there and like, is it you?
In fact, I'm gonna roll a fuck you dice against Kamar. Okay, cool.
Like genuine confusion as to who he's referring to.
So, what are you guys doing?
I'm still confused.
I listened to Flynt.
Well, we're all very slowly moving forwards in the right order.
Are you a lot heavier?
Well,
Phil, like Cobalt. Is Cobalt a lot heavier?
Let's actually give this a map.
Probably.
I mean, it makes sense.
I'm wearing full plate, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I'm just thinking, like, that's never really come into play before. Now it's suddenly relevant.
I don't know if they're gonna be around.
So I'll just put you on a new map.
Oh, it's an ocean.
Yeah, this is the best text I could find.
No, it's not. It's space. We're in space.
Shifters, warforged.
Yeah, I don't know.
Warforged are generally broader and heavier than humans. Doesn't give an exact weight, but generally
I'm going to assume you're made of stones, so you're gonna be.
Yeah. And as I say, I am wearing full plate, which is quite heavy anyway.
Also true.
So it wouldn't be.
You're probably one of the heaviest of the group at the very least.
I would honestly say I am the heaviest. I don't think there's anyone who would be heavier in this particular group.
Fair.
Like
now,
Kamar's not even wearing full plate, so.
How many enemies are we gonna have to fight in this place? I'm gonna go with 5.
It's ice now.
Please don't do that.
Is it ice, Baby.
Can you get rid of that, please?
No.
Control Z.
Oh my god, Mike.
Control
what,
Z,
sorry?
just undo.
Oh.
Control Z,
Oh,
just
okay.
undo.
Okay.
I'm also going to add the crystal on, which is right there. For what it's worth, that doesn't take up all 9 of those squares. It's just at its widest. It's that, like, you could technically pass underneath the 8 surrounding squares.
How do you show the... Oh, never mind. Found it.
Yeah, I didn't even have it on until Beanie was like,
Yes,
oh yeah, those
squares.
9 squares. It's like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
I don't normally have it on.
It's
To be
useful.
fair, I've got like snapped grid on, so when I'm moving it does it for me, but...
Which one's the low ones? Is it stalactites or stalagmites?
Stalagmites are the things I'm drawing on at the moment.
Because the difference is, one of them's like a solid cone, and the other one's like a thin bit, and then a cone at the end.
No,
No,
one
one goes
top, one
up
is the
from the
bottom.
floor, one comes down from the ceiling.
What am I thinking of? then?
Moles come from the floor. Stalactites cling tight to the ceiling. So
Okay.
moles for M.
Oh.
Mites.
Yeah, okay.
Mites.
I got it.
That's sorry, it's just I realised that I suddenly hadn't been brilliantly clear that one.
Yeah, it's just
So
like
I
I
was
always
just
get
talking about
the two
moles.
confused.
Everyone
I don't
does.
ever since that I remembered that little saying I just said.
Yeah. I will endeavour to remember that and then forget.
And for what it's worth, the giant's fingers are these ones.
Naturally occurring stalactites and stalagmites are actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I just really like if you look at caverns and like both in art and photography, caverns are just beautiful to me.
Remember when I was a kid, on a family holiday,
Alright.
and my parents thought it would be tremendously
go.
engaging for us to go on a cavern tour, like just getting shown around this huge cave. And some of the stuff looked pretty cool, but it was boring as shit.
See,
Like, there was,
I
like,
forget
the
what
guy-
it's called, but in South America somewhere there is this massive crystal cavern that was like the past 5 years that was found. It looks amazing. Literally everything is gems in there.
nice. There is well, when I was a kid, we our high school did like extreme sports, like end of year school trips where you'd spend a couple of days sleeping at youth hostel and going on like rock climbing and caving and things like that. And one of them, we went caving, and I just remember myself, like, I don't know how people put up with me. The entire time I was down there, I was trying to be funny, and like, with hard hat helmets on, you'd literally bump your head constantly as you're going through these caverns, and every time I bumped my head, there was the clunk of me hitting my head, and then the ow. So literally just our entire time down there was ow, 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 ow. And people, for some reason, didn't punch me in the face. I don't know why.
I think you were hurting yourself enough. I mean,
No,
that's
I
just-
don't think I
Didn't
was.
hurt, I'm guessing.
No, because the hard hats did
Yeah,
their job.
hard
I was
hats,
I was surprised by it, so I kept saying "ow" every time I did it, and I was, again, as I say, I was trying to be funny, despite the fact that I'm very much not funny.
to look
Very,
at.
very strange phenomenon happens to the human brain when you're underground for too long. You completely lose track of time.
Mhm.
The way that the brain processes time passing is that through the position of the sun.
Yep, and I've tried to do that with you guys in this as well. Although the thing with this is you've got dwarfs with you who quite actively they have the ability to avoid that kind of logic. Eldith.
Mhm.
All right, I think that's everybody. Feel free to put yourselves on the map as you wish. What it's worth, this 10-foot wide corridor carries on downwards. Put yourselves in as you're going into the room.
And I made it. Hey!
You're on the bottom of the cavern. Literally just said,
I
put
know,
yourselves as if
I
you're
know.
going into the cavern. You're
the
literally the
joke
worst.
was I made it.
Nope, you're the worst. You're scum
Okay,
right now.
So whereabouts does the ice?
The
whatever
ice starts basically
Where we are, doesn't it? By
just below Cobalt, like just above Cobalt now, that line there. Basically where the tunnel joins the room, it's quite literally where the tunnel becomes cavern, the floor becomes ice.
ice, baby.
That.
So,
Wait, I said I would be near the back of the group, didn't I? So actually,
I mean, I guess I was
yeah, you.
at the front, but I don't know if I should go on first.
Well,
I know you already said it, but what are these circles? They
the white circles are stalagmites, the brown ones, those pre-brown ones are the rock giants fingers sticking up out of the floor. Like what you at first thought were frost-covered stalagmites are actually frost-covered fingers.
Okay, cool.
Oh my god.
Are people trying to do what?
I'm not even doing
how's
it.
that?
No, because Stool's not going next to me. That's why I moved him.
That works.
The most
Diagonal,
boring game of Tetris.
diagonal are fine.
Also
Just,
2.
There we go. There we go.
Now, was that boring Tetris or boring Candy Crush?
Both. Boring D&D.
Really?
I like solitaire.
Aw, honey.
Anyway, so what are you guys doing?
Well, I just suggest we very carefully and slowly move forward. I'm gonna say I'm gonna stick to the left-hand side of the wall.
Okay. So you move into the room,
What's
heading towards the
after
left.
them?
You're
What's
letting
the
Anwar and
left
Turner go
there?
first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, is there such a way of like purposely
Vinny?
moving slower,
That's,
but like making sure ice doesn't break underfoot?
you
Like,
could
is that a
move.
thing I can do?
I'll say that you could move slower. So, for example, if the ice did break, you'd get advantage on the dexterity save, but you can't make yourself way less.
I mean, I'll do that.
I'll suggest to keep about 10 feet in between each other.
And what were you saying, Phil?
I was asking what the red circles were.
Sorry, are they red or are they the giant
They're
fingers?
like dark red.
Sorry, I thought they were brown. I'm colours.
Or brown then.
Either
Maroon,
way,
I would
they're the
say.
giant's fingers.
The not white circles to discriminate.
That's a pretty big giant.
I mean, it's a giant.
20 foot tall.
Yeah.
Admittedly, those are
That
Like,
probably
you fought a giant last week. You
those
know
are
how
probably
big it is.
bad fingers. They're probably bad sizing to scale, but I'm
Bad,
lazy.
naughty fingers.
Alright then, so those two first.
So you're sending those two forwards first. You say to keep 10 feet between you, so Anwar and
Spread
we'll
out.
say Turvey move forwards, drifting away from each other as they go in. Renlan, you say you're following in next after them.
Yeah, and I've also said I'm sticking to the left wall. I don't know if that would influence Anwar.
Stool
That's
kind
all.
of hangs back, like near Kamar.
I will carry stool.
Okay.
That's more weight in one place, but
It
that's no
is,
problem.
but if the
Stool is actually
ice
very light for what it's worth.
It's
And
also,
also, if the ice
yeah,
starts to
that's
break,
probably
you
still
throw
not as heavy as me. So
my logic
and-
is, if the ice starts to break, I'm just gonna throw him.
That's fair.
you're going to fling stool all over the
for what
place.
it's worth, Stool is
Yup.
on Kamar.
He kind of make the distance.
Kamar, you move into the room. Sorry, I'm just actually kind of spacing you here for reasons. We'll say
Getting a bit spaced out, are we?
you
I
guys
mean,
all-
if, for what it's worth, I will be unabashedly just walking straight, like between the giant fingers and underneath the giant
yeah.
blue crystal.
Turvey looks like he's going to make to go round them, but yeah.
In my
you're gonna
mind,
go
it makes
straight
no
through.
threat.
That's
There's no
fair.
threat to me. So
So, as Eldif enters the room, Flynt and Cobalt are readying themselves to move in. Let's see.
Oh, could you draw on the end of the ice as well, either side? Because I know you've done it at the bottom, but not the top.
That actually wasn't me who did that.
I mean,
For what it's worth, again, it's where the tunnel becomes cavern. So,
So is it like
whoever did
literally
it,
right
it's this bit here, this line here.
top? Okay.
Surprisingly accurate with the grid. It's weird that. All right, Kamar and Renlan.
Do you want to just
So-
tell us to do like 10 feet by 10 feet?
No, I'm doing something else. So, as you enter the room, or as Eldif enters the room and Cobalt and Flynt get themselves ready, you don't move yourself.
I'm just checking range, sorry. Carry on.
Renlan, you suddenly notice movement behind this stalagmite here. You see, I'll just put him on the map.
Oh, lovely.
A drow, readying his crossbow and aiming at Anwar.
I'll immediately say, "Drow ahead!" and I'll attack him.
At which point, initiative's going to play. Everybody except for Renlan is surprised. So, Renlan, you get to act in this round, but everybody else doesn't.
Oh no! What a shame.
So,
I don't think I get to act in this round either.
Still
next-
better than me.
roll
Next
initiatives. Come on.
I actually physically couldn't roll any lower.
6. Wow.
That's 6 for me, yeah. And he got got 2. Impressive. That's impressively bad.
10 for Anwar. 4 for Stool, who is currently being held by Kamar anyhow. 14 for Eldef. 3 for Turvey with his natural 1. Renlan.
11.
9 for Flynt. And Cobalt. 2. Alright. Let's see. You first. Wow. These are pretty god awful.
Momentary turned into Owen Wilson there. Wow. Owen Wilson, is that his name?
I have no clue what you're talking
Wilson's
about.
still a thing, yeah. Pretty
Owen
sure.
Wilson. Yeah, it's Owen Wilson, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a really unflattering way to describe him, but he's the nasally voiced crooked nose actor.
At which point you all
You
hear...
must.
Everyone knows who he is. When
I was gonna say, I don't know what you will have seen him in off the top of my head though.
Probably Wedding Crashers.
I've not seen Wedding Crashers myself. I feel like he's in
He's in a
something well known though, like
he's
really
in
well known.
Marley and Me as well.
He's in Shanghai Noon, isn't he?
Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights.
Shanghai Nights, yes. He's the other,
the American.
the other main character, yes.
Yeah.
The American actor,
Wait,
not
what?
Jackie Chan.
So, to the game. As Renlan shouts out Drow and moves himself into a combat stance, you all hear a familiar voice say, "And this is why I normally work alone," as the Drow figure that had ambushed you with his spider companions suddenly reveals himself. Boop. Bringing a...
Wait,
hi, Jeff.
what was it he said? I normally work alone.
And this is why I normally work alone.
You did cut out a little bit at the beginning of that, which is why.
This is... I don't know what it is. I can't do anything about it, so...
Don't worry about it.
Just carry on.
At which point... Let's see...
How high are these stalagmites?
The stalagmites reach up to about 10... Well, they go between about... some of them are as high as a few feet, others go as high as like 15. Like, there are a few that actually join stalactites on the ceiling.
So they are effectively full cover.
Yes, the ones that they were hid behind are.
Yeah, so like I can only just see this one, but there's no way I can possibly see the guy who's actually saying this right now.
No, he's revealed himself and he's taken his action. You could see him, he just has cover against you. For what it's worth.
Yeah, I mean there's like 4 or 5 of these things in the way, so I could probably hear him and I could maybe see something moving, but there's no way I'd be able to see him, is there?
Sorry, I missed that. What would you say? Sorry, my brain just kind of broke. What'd you ask?
There's about 4 or 5 stalagmites in the way, and because of their size and their height, I could probably see them amongst them.
Bearing in mind, they do thin as they go up, so you can see him. He would just have very heavy cover against you. Like, so you'd have a shot, but it'd be a very difficult shot.
He has 3/4 cover.
At the very least, he does step forward either way to get a clearer shot, and you hear him say, "Well, at the very least, don't let them touch the crystal." And he takes a shot at Anwar.
He doesn't want us to touch the crystal. Oh boy.
Now see,
at this point,
can we insight check that?
Go for it. Roll insight.
Just like a general free action.
Can I as well?
I mean, yeah, go for it.
Like, is he shitting with us, or does he legit not want us to touch that crystal for some reason?
I swear to God, if you're going to run up to it and touch it just to see what happens, can you wait till I've actually left?
You know what? No, I'm not inspirationing that. It's not going to help.
Yay!
Me and you, Mike. Me and you.
And that wonder. What happens?
There is absolutely no malice in this Drow's voice whatsoever. In fact, you quite honestly hear fear, as if he really wants to protect this crystal.
Oh, okay. Well, he would hate it if I was to go up to it and attack it, then, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it would seem so.
That would actually be the worst thing for him to happen to him. Therefore, I think that might be what I'm doing.
GG.
All right.
What could go wrong?
So I'm just...
Indeed.
Sorry, I'm actually trying to figure out something in my head.
So today, the dice rolls, right? I've had 2 nat 1s. I've been crit once or twice. I've been attacked multiple times and hit multiple times. Like, I nearly died because I failed 2 death saves.
You're having a lovely time. What are you talking about?
But Mike,
Yeah.
I got 2 nat 1s in a row.
At this point, he then turns to Kamar and says, sorry, I just broke my speakers. And that is far too uncomfortably bright. And suddenly, it doesn't go out, but the light on Dawnbringer suddenly just dims as a globe of darkness basically just lowers the light level that Dawnbringer is able to put out.
Okay, so if this is the darkness spell, doesn't it extinguish light? I mean, doesn't like
it extinguishes light of a certain level spells.
This is what I was trying to figure out in my head. The wording in the book is a bit weird, so I'm just going to say it basically it's lowered the Dawnbringer's effect from sunlight to not sunlight, and also a bit dimmer, for what it's worth.
Okay, so it's not. I mean, I don't.
So it's still basically lighting up the room for you, but it's not giving it's not activating the drow's sunlight sensitivity, which is the important thing here for him.
Right. Point is, I can still see.
Yes, you can still see it.
So wait, what kind of radius are we talking about here that I can still see?
You can still see for about actually, yeah. Maybe you've still got the 30-foot light. It's just dim light, so you can still see for 30-foot radius from you.
Okay, so I can still see him.
Yes.
Just.
He basically just came into your view as he did that.
Okay.
And that will be his turn. Yeah. Eldeth. She readies her warhammer and she holds herself for now. Like, she seems a bit cautious to be doing anything too active on this ice, and kind of waits to see what other people are going to do. Renlan, what are you doing? Actually, saying that, no, Eldith didn't act anyhow this round. Renlan's the only one to act with you guys. So, Renlan, what's your turn? What are you doing?
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Kill him.
Oh, believe it or not, that is most definitely on my mind.
I mean, I'm just saying, as someone who kills people a lot, I find it's quite effective at getting rid of your enemies. Just throwing it out there.
Just bear in mind, I have burning hands, and I'm thinking how I might want to use it on ice just to fuck with these people. But right now, what's my line of sight on this guy? Has he got really any cover against me?
Which one? Sorry, this guy.
The drow.
This one. He currently has half cover against you.
If I moved there,
and
then had a better shot.
I'd say that gets you quarter cover against him. If you moved up here, you have no cover.
Oh, 21.
That's it.
Yeah, you good?
Oh, 12 force damage.
What are you rolling for that?
12.
Huh?
What dice do you roll for Eldritch Blast damage?
D10 plus charisma modifier because he's got an ability.
3 plus charisma.
So almost max damage. Almost.
And then I'm going to sort of try and take cover behind this stalagmite after taking my shot.
The
That should be my turn.
green orb smashes against this side against the side of the drow's head, and he falls into a puddle of his own blood on the floor.
Oh, he's dead.
As the other one,
Glad you took my advice.
as the guy who had spoke, kind of looks over his shoulder and says, "Well, he didn't hide well. He may as well die well."
Oh, well, in that case, instead of doing that, I'm going to move a bit further up to there at the end of my turn.
Okay.
I mean, I hate this drow because he's a filthy drow scum. However, he does have good logic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
you can't fault the logic.
now it is the other drow's turn.
3 HP, thank you very much.
Another 3 drow make their appearance from behind various.
No! Why would there be 3 more drow?
Why would there be 3 more drow? One of them is going to Fairy Fire. I just need to double check the radius
Why
and
would
stuff
there
of
be
this.
3 more drow when there could be 10 more drow?
Yeah, it's the Underdark.
It's
There's
just
probably
gonna
more
hit
drow.
quite a few of us, actually.
I mean, I'm sure there are more drow in the Underdark in general, yes.
Specifically in this group that wants to hunt you down.
Still, yeah.
Wait, are these the ones hunting us?
Well, we know that guy's a
this-
bounty hunter, isn't he?
This guy very much made it clear that he was hunting you down.
Oh no, I mean
Yeah.
more from the original party, like the ones that were chasing us at the beginning.
You don't actually.
I believe he said he was a bounty hunter, didn't he?
I will say that Renlan, you are the only one that really with your sight, you're the only one that really gets a clear view of these guys, and the one that you just killed, you do actually suddenly realise was actually one of the prison guards from back in Velkenvelv. You do recognise the face.
Also, bear in mind, Laurie, around like here-ish, there's a darkness orb, so you may not be able to see these guys.
That doesn't really bother me because it means they can't see me. But
yeah, I'm just saying, like, you look like you are.
Yeah, but it just means
if it's
you
going to
can't see
affect
them
people
either.
bleeding, then put the orb on the map.
Yeah.
The area around Kamar, Turvey, and Anwar suddenly bursts into a seemingly non-hot purple flame, which attempts to cling to each of them. I need a dexterity save from all 3, which is just Kamar of you 4.
Cool, I'm pretty sure this is +0.
3.
Pretty sure I made that.
Oh no, it's +1. I surprised myself. Just throwing it out there. Can I have advantage?
Nope.
Just thought I'd ask.
It's fair, it's understandable. But no.
Thank you.
Ah, you're fine.
Yeah.
But
Fine is
Mike,
relative.
but Mike, hear me out here.
Right?
Is it a werewolf?
I don't know, Beanie, is it a werewolf?
Not yet.
I should start answering that whenever you ask me it's a werewolf. Not
Tur-
yet.
Turvey
Yeah.
is the only one that is affected by this, and while manages to hop aside, and Kamar manages to step back out of it as well.
Flail wildly on this very unstable ice.
The other 2 drow, let's see, they're just going to go for crossbow attacks. Both of them aiming at Kamar, like popping their heads around the stalagmites in order to get shots on you, whilst keeping themselves in cover against ranged attacks.
You're not popular in here.
For the record, in order to keep my balance as well as hold on to stall, I would have put my shield and sword away.
Right.
So I do not have +2. I've only got 16 AC.
I'm assuming you'd have had the sword at least unsheathed for the light.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's like I'm not holding it.
That's fair. And for what it's worth, you were also surprised because you didn't know that these Renlan was the only one to spot the stealth.
Absolutely.
So they get advantage on you for this.
Oh yeah, because it's not got round to us yet.
Nope. So that
Had
is
fun with that.
+4. Without your shield, you're at 16, is it?
16. Yep,
Wait.
16.
I was going to say there's no way there's only 2 of them in this place. So.
The first one, it ricochets off. The second one
Do you really think there's only
is going to
5
hit.
of them though?
Roll a Constitution saving throw from Mike. That's becoming
Okay.
a catchphrase of the day.
It's fine. I've got +2 in con save. Like, it's okay. Watch me fail this now. I've said that, of course, but 17.
You take 5 points of damage lowered to 2, and
Okay.
you resist the paralytic effects of the poison. This is
Why is
the
it-
very obvious drow poison that you've become somewhat accustomed to. Like, this is the reason you were all kidnapped in the
Immune
first
to.
place.
Why
Not
does
immune
everyone
to.
want to poison me today? It's like, it's not cool.
Specifically with paralytic poison.
Yeah, it's like, come on, fight me like a man.
Or you could fight them like a paralyzed vegetable.
Hey, it's icy in here. I'm gonna like fling myself at them, like sword out in front of me, and then they paralyze me on the way. It doesn't matter. I just keep going.
It is
Stab them
now
Superman style.
back to the top. And technically it's now a round that you were all active in, although you stop being surprised when it gets to your turn.
Gas,
Never
which means you can
surprised.
react is the main thing.
Yes. The
I
drow,
have no reactions apart from
Oh.
attacks of opportunity.
drow spider,
Well,
as I've called him, is going to take a shot. He's going to hunter's mark on... Yeah, he's going to
Oh, boy,
hunter's mark on
hunt.
Kamar. He doesn't fully recognise Anwar. He never saw him during the fight before. And seeing it as a ranged weapon, he's not too worried about him being that close. So he's going to take a Hunter's Mark shot on good old Kamar.
Of course.
Kamar 2.
That's going to hit. That's like 26 to hit, so that's definitely going to hit.
Yeah.
Extra d6 damage. Roll me a Constitution save. That's snake eyes. So
21.
Again, you resist the paralytic poison, and the amazing snake eyes that he rolled, plus his dexterity modifier, takes 5 to 2, so you take another 2 damage. Oh, actually, no. Hold on.
0?
You take 4 damage because he has favoured enemy humanoid.
But it gets reduced to 0.
No, I've already reduced it.
Get reduced to 1.
Dang it.
He then kind of clicks his tongue in annoyance, seeing that you don't fall unconscious at it, and steps back behind the stalagmite. Eldith, seeing that she needs to do something, is going to awkwardly start attempting to make her way across the ice, although she's going to do it at a half movement so she's not falling over. Renlan, your turn.
Right, now, as for what Mike was saying earlier about the darkness orb, is that affecting my ability to see anyone from the side?
You have dark vision, don't you?
Yeah.
But,
So
But I don't know if it affects that.
No.
Darkness get rid of darkness?
Darkness, unless if it completely got rid of the light, I would say yes. But the fact that it's dimmed the light and not basically the Dawnbringer itself is combating the darkness in a way, and basically it gets rid of a few effects of it, so it doesn't actually get in the way of dark vision.
Alright.
Like
Well,
again, the wording in the spell itself is a little iffy, so I'm kind of home ruling that as I go along. Like just what makes sense in my mind.
why. Like, they want to try and make the rules as generic as possible, so you can apply them to as many situations as possible.
Has he got full cover against me? I imagine he has.
He does, yes.
Even if I step out to the side.
Yeah, the fact that he's actually stepped in and has actually taken cover against it, like he's attempting to basically just hide away from things now, at least after that last attack, as he reloads.
Let me just have a look at something.
But everything went quiet there.
Yeah, that's what keeps happening to me. Like, wait, did it cut out again? Oh, okay, no, we're fine.
Now, I will say, the same logic that Eldith did her half movement. If you don't go at half movement, you will have to make a acrobatics check to avoid falling on this ice. Like it is slippery.
I have Misty Step. That's exactly what I'm looking at.
Fair enough.
What does Misty Step do?
Teleportation is a bonus
Unless you
action.
teleport.
And it's a bonus action.
But
Alright,
bear
so
in mind,
if I'm standing next to someone and I cast Burning Hands, am I okay to do that? Or do I have to do like a spell check for that?
No,
Seeing as I'm next
that'd
to
be a
them?
dexterity save for them. And no, you don't. There's no combat casting, so to speak, in this compared to D&D 3.5 or Pathfinder. It's just if you're concentrating on a spell, somebody can hit you and break concentration.
Okay, now here's the thing. Even though the guy's got full cover against me, I can just Vicious Mockery him, can't I?
Yeah, if
He
it's
just needs to hear it.
if it's a mental saving throw, then cover won't do anything. A dexterity saving throw would cause cover to be an issue.
I'll just shout out to the guy. It's like, you can chase us all you want, but you're chasing your death. Then Vicious
he
Mockery
rolls a-
DC 13 Wisdom.
Yep.
I'd say, yeah, and then get hit by another crossbow bolt.
Oh god.
That's not a lot of damage.
It's literally 1d4.
He does take the 2 damage, but he also takes disadvantage on his next attack.
That's correct, yes.
Doesn't Vicious Mockery upgrade the dice when you level up?
I think so, but not at level 3.
it's level 5 for cantrips.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's only a cantrip.
He kind of, you hear him almost as if he's about to say something, and then he stops himself, and then he says, somebody here is definitely dying.
Ooh, I bet it's me.
Sorry, that's just, I'm getting red versus blue flashbacks. Next episode, somebody will die. Ooh, I bet it's me. Anyway,
Never seen it.
it's amazing. Red v Blue, one of the funniest series on the internet.
So I've heard.
Anwar, assuming you're done, Laurie.
I am indeed.
Okay, Anwar. Seeing that everybody's got... Actually, has he got sharpshooter? I forget. No, he does not. Well, he did for some reason. But...
He just has a loud, really loud cannon as a gun. I mean, that's something.
You don't need to be accurate when you shoot everything.
He also won't have sharpshooter because he won't have had a chance to get a sharpshooter yet.
Yeah, fair point. He's not got an ability, has he? In that case, no. He just he kind of crouches down, gets his gun ready, and is going to take aim at this guy, who only has half cover to him. Well, actually, only has about quarter cover to him. So he tries to redeem himself from the last battle in which he only hit the walls. That might do it. No, it will not. So there is an explosion as once more Anwar's gun fires off. The pellet ricocheting off the stalagmite that the drow is hiding behind. The side effect of this is that suddenly the blast from the gun sends the small gnome flying backwards on the ice and bouncing against the stalagmites behind him. And he kind of just props himself up and wedges himself between the stalagmites in order to stabilise himself.
On the downside, he didn't die. On the upside, you've discovered a new fairground attraction.
A very dangerous fairground attraction. Like, only one at a time, please. Flynt is going to... 2 seconds, check a spell. Okay. Flynt steps up, sees what's happening, and is going to... Actually, saying that, range 30 feet. Ooh. No, he's going to spend his movement moving into the room, unfortunately. He's not... I'll say he was there.
He moved 10 feet, so he's got 20 more.
Wait, he's got 30-foot movement? He's got 25, hasn't he?
Why would he have 25?
He's a dwarf.
I don't think dwarves have slower movement.
Yeah, they do. They've always had slower movement. Yeah, 25 foot. Dwarves have always been slow movement. The idea being they're quite slow and they're slow but strong.
They are half the height.
So there's only small races that had slower.
Nope, dwarves have always... They've been the exception, admittedly. Well, of the standard races, dwarves have always been the exception. The upside being they don't get penalties for movement due to overcapacity and stuff. Like, they still move at their base speed, even if they're like heavy armor and other stuff.
They were good for tanky characters.
So he moves in as far as he can whilst being careful on the floor. Actually, he's not going to step that close to Flynt just in case. He's going to hang back a little, just so as to not overweight the floor, as the party suggested. The drow are then going to
all move into the same spot.
Another of them is going to try a fairy fire. This time getting Kamar, Eldif, and Flynt. So that's another 2 rolls for me and 1 roll for Kamar.
What do I roll?
They do love their
dexterity
fairies.
Save. Both of these. Actually, saying that, Flynt's on -1, hasn't he? Yeah, so I think Flynt just failed due to a minus.
I think that's a fail. I got a
10. Flynt and Eldif both pass, but Kamar is suddenly engulfed in the fairy fire, unable to dodge it the second time around. Seeing the big metallic target suddenly much easier to hit, the other 2 are going to fire crossbow bolts at you. They could fire at Turvey, but honestly they don't see him as much of a threat. Also, it didn't... I know I said it at first, but it didn't actually affect... It did... Oh, you got it. Nice. So, advantage on attacks. That's a miss from the first one. And a hit from the second one. Roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
I've rolled this a lot today. 16.
16, you're fine. Again,
at this point, I think I should get advantage on this roll, you know?
You're building up an immunity.
Building up an immunity.
It's 2 different kinds of paralytic poison, I'm sorry. Otherwise, obviously, it would have. The crossbow hits, and you take 1 point of damage, that's including the negation.
Okie dokie.
And again, the drow seems annoyed as you resist the paralytic effect.
He's annoyed. Stop shooting me, you asshole.
Kamar, it's your turn.
Okay, finally actually being able to stop getting shot. Everybody stop getting shot.
It's time for you to get mad.
Okay, so, bear with me here. In one turn, if I give up my movement entirely, can I put Stool down, slide him towards like here, then pull out my sword and shield.
Yes, I'll say that's fine.
Completely give up my movement.
Mm-hmm.
So I will do that. Do you want me to roll for sliding Stool so I don't like slam into a wall or something?
No, you know what? I'm going to say you're fine. Like, Kamar has been surprisingly gentle with the kids so far. So I'm going to say this is just a natural thing. Like, you just put him on the ground and give him a push, and he does slide towards that wall, like hidden behind the map. Like, Stool, like one foot either side of him as he's kind of like spinning around, like during the slide. Seems very confused by the situation.
Although, wouldn't he be affected by fairy fire?
That's a very good point. Yes, he is affected by fairy fire. Thank you for reminding me. If whoever put the status on can play it on that as well, because I'm not sure which one you used. Thank you. Stool is gonna sit there and ponder for his turn.
I think. I feel he needs to resist it. I guess.
No, because he was in your arms.
Right.
So it was like it's a dexterity saving throw. So it is actually movement again away from it.
I could like move him out of the way of it.
I'll just use him to block it.
Not liking the cold against his body, Stool kind of gets up and rushes using all his movement to attempt to get off the ice. He does pass his acrobatics check, so he doesn't fall over, but he doesn't manage to make it out of the cave yet.
Honestly, I was just having a Dark Souls flashback and running and going,
Boink. And then you stab them and they cry and it's great.
I feel so bad for killing those things.
Punches your lights out.
He lays you the fuck out. It's deserved, but
Falcon punch.
It's like, oh, it's a mushroom. What's it gonna do? Dead. Oh, fuck.
Turvey takes out his crossbow and his hands shaking, he loads it and fires a shot at the nearest one, which would be this one, who's at half cover to him.
Oh, sorry. Did I see who did
miss.
fairy fire on me, by the way?
The one that hit you was this one.
So,
the closest.
Bear in mind the darkness. Can I see that he did it?
With everything that's happening right now, and
because that one wronged me.
With your passive perception,
shit.
Exactly. I'm gonna say no. You weren't really paying attention for that. Like you know that it's one of these three. I'll say.
Okay. Well, that one's the closest, and that's one I can actually see.
That's
so
fair.
There we go.
Cobalt, your turn.
Yeah.
I will move forward.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, step behind me, little one. I shall keep you shielded.
I will keep myself.
Then I actually can't really see anything, to be honest. I'm assuming.
Oh, actually, do you mind if I draw the circle, or you can draw the circle of darkness on the board, just so I know where it is?
Bear in mind that's going to move with you.
Oh, it's on me.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. 15 foot radius. Like it's like casting light on something. It actually is on the object.
Okay, so it's like that far away.
Yes, 3 squares away from you.
Excuse me.
Okay, that's fine. It's just...
So wait, what can I see at the moment then?
Phil,
Bear in mind, I don't have dark vision.
Can you roll me a charisma check?
Just straight up charisma.
Just straight up charisma. Actually, no, it's persuasion. It would be persuasion.
I don't think it matters either way because I don't think I'm proficient in anything charisma-y. Look at that. No, I'm not. Oh, well, no, sorry. I'm proficient in charisma saves.
Unfortunately, this is not that.
Yeah, unfortunately. I know exactly what it is. But I maintain, he ran towards me.
No, that's fair. For what it's worth, he didn't know you were in that direction. Oh, he'd forgotten you were in that direction, but...
I figured as much, funnily enough.
As you step around the corner, there is the very sudden stop in his momentum. Which is weird, because he's on ice, so it's kind of a stopping momentum, but he still slides forwards.
Now, I know that's a high number, but I really want to convince him. Like, I want him to know I have his back, so I am inspirationing
He doesn't run away from you.
And that's a 19. Because I feel I would put my all into making sure he was protected.
That's
and
fair.
Yeah.
He doesn't run away from you actively, which is what he was going to do if you failed that.
I mean, that's fair. But yeah, what can I actually see? If
what's your vision? It's dark vision.
I don't have dark vision.
No. In that case,
so I've got light on my shield, and then I've got whatever's coming off Kamar.
So
I'm going to assume I can't see any of them.
Now, Kamar's light still actually you had the light at max, so it'd actually be at 30 feet. It's just dim light, so you can see pretty much. You can see this guy. You can't see this guy, but you can see that Renlan is obviously facing some. Like Renlan's doing something in that direction, and Anwar, you can see, is just shot in this direction.
What sort of cover would that guy have?
From you, he's got. He's basically got 3/4 cover. Like that stalagmite is very much between you and him.
Well, don't you know?
Mm-hmm.
Sacred Flame ignores cover.
It does ignore cover.
Oh, well, that's totally new information to me.
He will roll a dexterity save.
Or actually, saying that, would you... saying that, given I know what's going on, I know... this is the only thing I know. I don't have the defender, I think it is, fighting stance, but could I essentially just use my action protecting stool instead?
Yeah, I'd say that.
So I feel that would be much more appropriate, given I can't... He's very much on the edge of my vision, so I wouldn't really...
Yeah. I'd say you're not taking up a dodge stance as much as you are a get your shield in the way of anything between you and...
That's basically what I'm doing. Like I'm making sure anything coming towards stool is blocked.
Fully aware that that's a class ability. I'm letting you do this as an action as opposed to the reaction that it is for the class ability. Like I feel like that's a fair...
Yeah, no, that's the thing. That's why I said I'm not sure if you'd allow it, just because
that's fine.
I do know it is a actual thing.
Well, as I say, it's lesser than the actual thing in the fact that it takes you more of an action.
It is my action. Yeah,
that's
fine.
So yeah, that's fine.
I'm happy to say my reaction as well for actually blocking the attack if you want as well.
No, I would say it's an action. However, it is specific to one target. So you're getting yourself between. You're getting your shield ready to block for stool as opposed to yourself. If that makes sense.
So
I give disadvantage to attacks against stool as long as he's within 5 feet.
My AC. Or
no, your AC is fine. Any attacks on specifically stool whilst he is within 5 feet of you for the next round is at disadvantage. That's the effect.
Right, that's fine. Okay.
So Cobalt to Drow Spider. He has disadvantage on his next attack. So he is going to...
Although if he's hitting me, doesn't that cancel out to just regular? Because very far.
He's actually going to say that one's getting too close to the crystal and take a shot at Turvey. Popping his head out.
Yeah, he doesn't want us to hit the crystal, obviously.
And it does cancel out, as you say, because Turvey is also on fairy fire. And that's a crit.
No, of course it is.
Oh dear.
Although he's immune to like physical damage.
And still crit.
Yeah, but he's immune to physical damage, so
he is immune to physical damage. You're correct.
There is a difference.
No, he's actually immune to it.
Yeah, he is actually immune to it.
Jesus.
Not the poison, but he's immune to physical
still
damage.
Being immune to physical damage.
That's something quite significant that I did not know about.
We have
came
seen
up a
it
while
before.
ago.
Yeah,
I know he's tough.
Hang on here.
but I thought that was resistant, not immune.
We watched his wounds from physical things just immediately close before.
Now wait, when you say immune,
I actually have not.
the
My
question
character
is
hasn't,
is it also immune to magical physical damage?
I don't remember. But
I don't.
No, it wouldn't be. Magical damage immediately just... But well, saying that you don't know that.
Well, that's this thing. I know we don't know that, but in general, magical bypasses everything. Same as silver.
Might also actually be immune to poison damage.
I'm going to say, because this is a crit, normally, technically, the poison wouldn't affect Turvey because effectively not taking damage means that the bolt doesn't actually break his skin. I don't think I've DM'd that right previously, but that is technically how it should be, I believe. But in this case, because it's a crit, this is a shot that's going to go... you see this crossbow, and it basically just goes right into Turvey's left eye. Yeah. It's not pleasant, and you hear Turvey screech out. You hear Turvey screech out in pain. He is going to then roll a Constitution saving throw, which he fails by a significant amount, I believe. That is a 5. Yeah. Suddenly, Turvey just collapses to the floor, a crossbow bolt sticking out of his eye. And you see the momentum of the crossbow bolt has actually started moving him towards this stalagmite as well. It just looks to you guys like Turvey has been shot through the eye and killed. Like instantly, he falls unconscious. And
when you say killed, though, Is in killed, or unconscious?
On the edge of your vision, you just saw him get shot through the eye. What would you believe that to be if you were in if you saw somebody get shot through the eye, a crossbow bolt still sticking out of it, and they immediately
it depends entirely how far in the bolt goes. Bear in mind,
it does.
I could certainly believe he's lost the eye.
You can't really see where he's. You can't really see him brilliantly from your position, so it's awkward. Like I'm gonna let you justify that as you will, but that's what you see.
Actually, if I see him?
He's dead.
Bear in mind, it's 30 foot from.
It's Kamar's. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'll check on him after the fight, but he's dead.
And you then hear the drow that shot him say, "That's one," and he backs up again behind the. That's three. Backs up again behind the stagmite.
Wait, you just jumped from 1 to 3. Who the hell?
No, he jumped to 1. I jumped to 3. Eldeth is gonna. She still has to go at full. No, she's gonna step up and seeing Turvey go down.
Step it up.
She moves over there and she grabs him and then is going to pull him this direction, not paying much attention to where she's going, admittedly. However, for what it's worth, that doesn't seem to have any effect on the ice. All those four being together right now, at least. Renlan. Your turn.
God. I'm gonna taunt the guy again with another vicious mockery.
All right, he rolls wisdom.
That may be one down, but you'll never take me to that dungeon ever. And 13 wisdom.
13. He fails again.
That's a good point. Did he have disadvantage on that attack? You did.
He didn't because Turvey was fairy fire. Cancelled out.
Yeah. Sorry.
I did mention that when I did it.
Yep.
I completely forgot about that. Do I not have 5 damage for this? Oh, no, there it is. 3 physical damage.
Psychic.
No, psychic damage.
Psychic, yes.
He winces again and says, "Then you'll be put in a grave instead." Anything else?
Yeah, it's my turn. I'm gonna whittle this guy down.
Anwar readies his action. It looks like he's going to basically cover Eldith as she moves Turvey away. Like, if any of them move towards her, he's going to take a shot. Although, no, they've all got crossbows out. No, he's just going to take a shot at the one straight across from him. This one. That's a 19, even with the cover. This is a hit. So, 2d6 plus 3, is that right? Yeah, that's right. That is 8 points of damage to drow number 3. And he's going to roll a Constitution save to see if he keeps the fairy fire, which he does not. The fairy fire that is setting Kamar and Stool alight dissipates.
Hooray!
Again, I actually don't know which state you guys are using, so I'll let you... Wait, is it Halo?
Yeah, it's Halo.
Yeah,
I'm magenta. I'm using.
That works. I'll let you get rid of it if you can either way. Kamar and Stool. Anwar still pressed up in between those...
What about Turvey?
Turvey is still no. Turvey is still verified. He was caught by a different one. Flynt is going to grab Turvey and basically just flings him across the ice at Cobalt and says, "Fix this, boy." That's his action. That's his action. His movement is going to be to there. A little more than half movement, but hey.
That's a request and a half right there.
As
you raise the dead.
As it gets close, you can see that the crossbow bolt has actually kind of, in quite a disturbing fashion, it's actually sat between the eyeball and the actual socket itself, as if it's forced its way in, but not broken the eyeball, and it's not made its way beyond it. It's solely hit enough in a very specific manner to actually poison him. Like, this is a 1 in a million shot, or a very, very accurate shot.
This is some Luke Cage bullshit right here.
I'm saying that's good because I was kind of just there like, I can heal him, but then he's got an arrow in his eye still. Ah!
Oh, you know, old arrow eye. You'll be fine.
Now, worth mentioning, to remove that crossbow bolt, you'll be pulling it out and you'll be putting force on his eyeball, so you would have to still be careful to remove it.
You could make it into a lollipop. Ew.
Anyway, the drow. They're all going to take ranged shots.
Shots.
Actually, no. One of them's still got his fairy fire. He's going to try and throw it on
Shots.
Eldif, Kamar, and Anwar. Or... yeah, Flynt's not shown himself as doing much yet, so Eldif, Kamar, and Anwar all need to make me dexterity saves.
Oh boy.
Eldif and Anwar both pass.
I fail horribly.
Kamar does not. As the purple glow dissipates, you take a breath of relief, and then suddenly, it's back.
Gods damn it.
The other two then take a shot.
Interestingly, you said gods there, plural.
I recognise there are multiple, the rest are just wrong. I want them all to damn it. I don't care if they're wrong most of the time. You know, any help would be nice.
As long as they're right in this particular instance of damning.
Exactly.
Like, Kamar hasn't actually got into the fight with them yet. They're actually going to take... one of them is going to...
stand there and get shot.
One of them, seeing the protective nature that the party seems to have over the mushroom, over the Myconid, bearing in mind that 2 of them now have acted quite openly to try and protect him. One of them's going to just take a shot straight out at a stool. With disadvantage, because Cobalt is protecting him.
Okay.
Which means that's a nat 1. So the crossbow bolt just sticks dead center in the shield.
Okay, yeah, that's a whole lot of freezing going on there.
That's what?
So what happened?
Like,
the crossbow bolt
went. Anyone else?
Oh, sorry.
I feel like that's actually perfect description of what happened to the crossbow bolt.
Yeah, nat 1. Yeah.
Just kind of stops in midair.
Can you hear me again?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Crossbow bolt hits dead center into Cobalt's shield, almost as if the drow wasn't aiming to get around the shield, and just sticks into the shield.
Why would he be aiming for around the shield?
No, you've got a metal shield, haven't you?
As far as I'm concerned, the mushroom's doing his job now. He's finally
I'm
absorbing
assuming as a cleric of the Forge, you would have it metal, of the choice of metal and wood.
I mean, yeah.
So, in which case it ricochets
probably metallic. I can't remember if I found this or if I forged.
Oh, actually, yeah, no, you would have found it. Where would you have found it?
Well, bear in mind, I could
it was your gear. It was within your gear at the start. Like,
in which case, probably would have been metal then. I don't know why it wouldn't.
The other one is going to take a shot at Kamar, which is at advantage, because Kamar is currently glowing.
I imagine it's kind of like a tower shield.
It's big, but it's not quite the size of it. Saying that, tower shields aren't things in this, are they? So, no, yeah, that's fair. You've just got a big shield.
There generally isn't any flavours within shields.
No, that's fine. I'm good for that, as long as you don't try and make reasons with that later, like, I've got a tower shield, I can take cover behind it.
I'm not going to.
That's fine.
Fully accepting it's a shield.
Cool. In which case, yeah, that's fine. It just hits dead center and ricochets off. The other drow takes a shot at Kamar, but Kamar, you bring your shield across and slam it into the bolt, ricocheting that bolt into the into one of the giant's fingers, where it just digs in. Kamar, your turn.
Okay, so now that
I've
finally got into the fight, I'm gonna screw this being careful bullshit. Charge this way.
Roll me an acrobatics check.
Yep, that's fair.
Here we go.
I'm gonna laugh when you fall on your ass.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I'm not proficient in acrobatics.
Yep.
No, I'm not.
I'm also gonna say disadvantage because you're wearing heavy armor.
Come on.
You're wearing heavy armor.
Ah, but I got a nat 20.
You're wearing heavy armor.
Oh dear.
I know I'm a dick, but it makes sense.
Nah, still a 16.
All right.
But I wanted to do a flip on the way.
You rush over, and you do kind of, after the first 15 feet, you kind of stop putting momentum into it, lower your body to kind of get the thing right, and just slide the rest of the way, bringing your sword up, I'm assuming, for an attack as you reach there.
Oh god, yes. Now, okay, something I was going to check.
Mm-hmm.
What would happen if I was to searing smite the ground around him?
You can attack the ground around
cut a
him.
hole in the ice around.
Bear in mind, Searing Smite specifically.
Yep. It's the fire one.
Yeah, is actual fire damage?
Yep.
Oh, right. In that case, yeah, that'd be fire. Heat damage against the floor. You could be melting the ice. I will say, for what it's worth, this one has already been hit. You did see Anwar shot this one. It's quite injured already.
I'm not actually going to. It'll just be hilarious.
You can, yeah, that is a tactic. You can try and melt the ice if you wish to.
I will.
Squeak, squeak.
I will slide on next to him. It's like morning, and then attack him.
All right, roll your attack roll.
Wait, I thought you fell over.
Nope.
No, I didn't.
He rolled quite well. He actually just slid over quite acrobatically, in fact.
Oh, I was looking at the 4. I was like, well, he's totally done.
Oh no, that was
that was very fire.
That was very fire.
That's why he's
can't
glowing
avoid that
again.
one. Fucking never avoid that.
I
Okay,
mean,
so
1 out of 3 times.
this guy's been hit already, hasn't he?
Yes.
I will not smite him.
In fact, he doesn't look that healthy right now.
Fantastic. That's the way I like him. So it's 1d20 plus 7. Kaplow. That's a 20.
That'll hit. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that considering he's on 3 health, that's a kill.
I physically can't not kill him.
So, as you slide into place around the stalagmite, the drow almost jumps back, gets his crossbow ready, and then you bring your sword up, say, morning, and bring it straight up through his top leg. Have I...
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
What you should totally do.
What's
You
that?
should run and jump on the drow's body and use it as a skateboard kind of thing and slide over to hit the next drow.
Carrying on my description, sorry, you bring the sword up, catch him through the top of the left leg, and dismember him as he falls to the floor in his own blood.
On top of his leg, so I dismember him.
Yes. Isn't that what dismember means?
Dismember. Take off his member.
Dismember isn't just that, I'm pretty sure.
It's not, no.
Stop making me feel like I'm saying things.
I'm not just like...
No, Mike was making a very poor joke about him cutting off his penis.
His left leg, not his middle one. I was going to
Not
say...
his third leg.
That is what dismember means, though.
I only just learned that decapitation is a thing a few years ago. Don't make me... I think dismember's also a specific thing.
For a while, I thought decapitation just meant removal of a body part.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
It was decapitation.
I learnt during my uni years, during my DMing during uni years, when somebody corrected me and says, "Wait, they decapitated him by taking his leg off." But yes. Anyway, anything else on your turn? You've got like a bonus action if you want it.
I don't think I can do anything with my bonus action, so I'm gonna say no.
Wasn't smite your bonus action?
I didn't smite.
Oh.
This is just a regular attack. Yep, I think I'm fine. That'll do, pig.
Stool is going to use his action to let out his spores, coating Cobalt and Turvy, and then move backwards into this area with his movement, saying, "Scary, scared, nasty drows," and that's his turn.
But now he's not a target anymore. Now useful people are going to get shot.
Turvy is currently unconscious. Cobalt. Your turn. For what it's worth, Stool has moved out of the protection of you, but he is effectively...
I know.
They'd have to get a good angle on him to reach him.
I'm going to step there.
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of... I'm not actually going to do an action or anything for this, but just to put myself in the way of anyone and Turvy.
Yep.
Turvy,
that's right.
Oh, Jesus, how do I want to do this?
No, that's what I say when you actually kill these
What
things.
are you trying to do?
I want to make sure he doesn't die. The question is, to do that, do I want to pull the arrow out first, or do I want to wake him up so he doesn't die before I get to healing him?
Roll a dice. Odds or evens.
Roll a heal check with disadvantage because this is just a momentary, like this is just a glance. This isn't an action to actually do this. But roll a heal check with disadvantage.
14.
You
actually, yeah, I wouldn't be. Would I? I want to save him, so yes, I would.
An inspiration dice.
I feel like I've rolled that, but map tools is doing its thing where it takes a moment. So I'm just going to wait. And
The
it's
anticipation is
still
killing.
not done it, so I'm going to hit the button again.
Oh, there it goes.
You just need to force it through, I think. Like, if it takes time, press it
Yeah.
again. So,
So the first one was a 1.
so 15.
Yeah.
So 15. Still, I'd rather 15 than 14.
That's fair.
15 feels like a nice number for
Yeah,
these.
15 feels like the border point.
At this point, it's just mocking you, saying like you could have gone a 4.
You could have gotten a 4.
For what it's worth, you do, like, a momentary glance at Turvey makes you think there is absolutely no, like, physical, actual damage to him. Even the crossbow between his eye and his eye socket is squeezed in, and it's kind of squeezed against his eyeballs to the point where much more pressure and it might actually burst the eyeball, but it's not right now done any actual damage. Like, you don't think a normal heal spell will do anything. You do remember, obviously, that Drow use poison, so you...
It's poison, so I'm thinking more or less a restoration. So it doesn't. So it's more a case of he's paralyzed than unconscious.
Yes, you can actually see his eyes are also open. Like
Right. If that's the case, I'm not too worried about healing him and making him move straight away. I'd rather get the arrow out while he can't move, more specifically.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to try and carefully remove the arrow. I will actually just prop my shield down so I can use both hands for this, making sure I'm using my good hand to actually pull the arrow out.
Okay.
Which I'm assuming is a medicine check?
It's going to be a heal check.
Which would be a medicine
Oh,
check,
sorry.
yeah.
There's so many different versions of it.
Well, yeah,
I'm gonna say-
medicine is heal.
Considering that both you and Turvey are on ice right now, it's not exactly a stable thing to be doing this on, so I'm going to say another disadvantage.
But he is paralyzed, so he can't
He's
move.
that means your force against him is causing him to slide against the, like, you're trying to press down him to get some grip, but it's just pressing down is enough on this ice to move him. And then you're in the position where you pressing down is forcing you to move on the ice. It's awkward.
I suppose if I dragged him off of the ice, would that constitute my action? Given with
No,
my
that's
movement, I could probably, if you called it a grapple, I could still get off.
I'd say that you can do that as a
Grabs
move.
there.
I'd say you can do that as a move. So you can get him off the ice as you move and do the heal check on the ground, and that
and then do
negates
that.
the disadvantage. That's completely
So
fine.
yeah, I'll do that then.
Cool. Roll me a heal check. Roll me a medicine check then.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Also, you don't know how uncomfortable this whole situation
That
has
was
made me.
not a good roll.
That is absolutely.
That is an awful roll. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm going to inspiration it, which is my
Really?
last one.
I wouldn't even bother at that point. You can only get a 9.
You
That's
reckon?
a
I
10.
don't know. If I get a 10, I feel a 10 is a.
Alright. I mean, I wouldn't personally.
I feel 10 would be borderline. He's not losing the eye.
Alright.
Like, I feel that's losing the eye territory at the moment. I feel 10 would be. It might kind of pop out a bit, but you just need to pop it back in.
To each their own, I guess.
You don't know how uncomfortable I am in this whole situation. Like, the only reason I'm doing it is...
You put it there.
I know, and I'm doing it solely because I thought it'd make a good story, but I'm still... not the eyes, anything but the eyes.
Regret.
I'm inspirationing it because.
Roll it.
Well, that wasn't really worth it. 7.
You go to pull it out,
I just kind of go.
wince, and the angle you've got right now, you don't think you can get it at, like... You feel like you're going to have to put a bit... You kind of stop yourself, like, midway and have to put it back in as you realise you're kind of pulling the eye out with it. And realise that you'll have to do... Basically, you didn't dramatically fail, but you also didn't succeed. So it basically wasted the action.
I'll just kind of say... My apologies, friend. This'll take a moment if you want to keep your eye.
Turvey is currently paralysed, but just looking into his eyes, you can kind of see, like... The eyes being the gateway to the soul also seems to be the gateway to the nerve center, and you can see the pain. Like, he is in utmost pain with you doing this. Like, he'd be screaming if he could.
I'm obviously making sure to kind of work quickly. I appreciate. Obviously, you can only do so much in a round, but
well, it's also a case of being knowledgeable in healing, you know that sometimes working quickly, especially in a case like this, might not be the best bet. Like, you're better off taking it slow and
it's
not popping the eye.
It's in being quick while being careful kind of thing.
Yes, you're very much in that situation.
I'll be talking to him as I do it, knowing he's paralysed. Just like, I apologise for the pain, but it is only momentary.
Yep, that's fine. We are going to go to... it is Jar Spider's turn. I'm just going to check a spell quickly. Because I am a huge dick. Oh, cool. So, seeing what's happening, Jar Spider smiles, steps around, and says, "Oh, how caring," as he takes a shot at Cobalt. This is no advantage. He actually gets disadvantage on this, so does he do that?
Does he know he'll get disadvantage, or does he?
Yes, he does. He does. He can feel the effect in his mind. Like he's basically looking at his crossbow, and it's unsteady. It's like his arm is wobbling slightly more than normal.
Because you don't want to really be shit talking when you have disadvantage. You might look like a fool.
That is a 12, which is going to miss. That's a shame. The other one was a 19.
Which would still be a miss.
19 plus 8.
Oh, sorry. That would have hit, yes.
He clicks his tongue as his arm wobbles too much and the bolt ricochets off the side just above Cobalt's head.
Just kind of...
He is then going to use the rest of his movement to go back behind the stalagmites.
Pansy.
He has no reason to stay out in the open.
I was gonna say it's tactics.
Yeah. What about fighting like a man? How's that for a reason?
He's a drow. He's fighting like a drow.
Yeah, that's why they all must die.
Eldith.
That many reasons.
Eldith.
They're on inferior scum is the main reason.
Seeing that Turvey has been taken safely, kind of looks to her right and sees Kamar is working his way through the drow on the right.
Very slowly.
Honestly, I'm trying to think what she would do here. She's gonna move past Anwar towards this guy. Like, seeing him just take a shot at Cobalt whilst he's trying to heal Turvey has pissed her off a little. So she goes that way again slowly. Like, she's not gonna rush it. Renlan, your turn.
I'll just do the same again. I'll say, you say you'll put one of us in a grave? You'll have to hit us first.
Oh,
that is...
It's failed in wisdom.
He failed it again, did he?
Yep. That was actually
Awful, damn. That is one psychic damage.
Oh, sick mind
that is like just...
Hey, it's literally a D4, okay? Come on.
He turns to you and says, "You know what? You're giving me a headache. You're gonna die next."
No, he won't.
I feel like that was a sicker burn than what Renlan just did.
Anwar is going to take
It's not much damage, but I'm whittling him down, and if he's going to fight back on me, he's got disadvantage, so...
As actually, the disadvantage is ruining him, quite honestly.
Yeah, he's having a shit day.
Healthy.
Like, this is not how I thought it would go at all.
He's going to have a dwarf on him in a minute, so...
Anwar takes a shot at drow number 2. That's a miss. Another explosion, another ricocheting pellet. Flynt is going to carry on, moving up this way. He is going to be going slowly. Like, he's very unsure on his feet. He's not quite as reckless as Kamar. The drow, this one is going to... This one is gonna step back. Wait, I forget how attack opportunities. Like, the opportunities, I'm getting them all mixed in my head. If they step away from Frey, it causes attack opportunity, doesn't it?
Yes.
So,
if they step out of range of you,
without disengaging.
Yeah.
Without disengaging.
That's right.
And specifically only for melee attacks.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Unless you have the Warcaster.
Unless you have Warcaster, and then you can do. No, it's still.
No.
Either way, he doesn't have warcast.
He's not going to do that. He is going to disengage, however, and he's going to use his full movement to go all the way over here and make an acrobatics check. Because he's going to trust in the fact that he's a nice dexterous elf. And that's a crit, so yeah, he does that. He, in fact, does a flip on the way. Kamar looks on.
I feel like doing a flip would make your life easier because you're not on the ground as much.
This one pops his.
So there's some professional jealousy going down right now.
This one pops his head out. Looks like he's going to aim at Flynt, and then turns around and says, "That one's getting close to the crystal," and shoots at Eldeth. That's going to hit.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah.
She's got a bit of cover from the things, but that was good enough on the roll. The fingers are probably the least cover-like things of all the circles on there as well, to be fair. Like, they're probably thinner than I've given them credit for there. That would be 5 points of damage to Eldeth, plus she makes Constitution save at advantage because she's a dwarf. Ooh. And she fails it, although she doesn't fail it dramatically. So she is poisoned. Which makes all her attacks and stuff at disadvantage. And she takes 5 points damage.
Neat.
Alright. And that is the drow. Kamar, your turn. Your nearest target just ran away from you.
I know. This is somewhat disappointing. I shout, watch out, the cowardly bastards flee, and then I have just enough movement to get there. Can I attack this guy from there?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Acrobatics?
Yep.
Yes. If you're, you used full movement, didn't you?
Yeah. So, it's not +7, it's +1.
Oh,
yep,
dear.
Right.
So,
that's that one. That seems about right.
You don't even step on the ice. You step on the corpse of the drow that you just killed, and that shoots along the ice behind you as your face suddenly sinks towards the floor at a rapid pace.
So it's watch as the bastards.
Yes.
Oh.
You are now prone.
That's fair. Can I use the rest of my action to stand up again?
Yes, you can. You can use your other movement to stand up. That's actually half a movement, so if you wanted to, you could also move towards the drow with the rest of your movement. That would trigger another acrobatics check, however.
You know what? Fuck it. We're going so well so far.
You can
so you can't do any worse at this point, can you?
Is it 30-foot movement normally?
Fall over again.
So you'd get there if you did this acrobatics check.
Again, it's +1, not +7. Stop it. 12?
You managed to make it.
Hooray! My face hurts.
There's like a layer of frost on Kamar's right side of his face. It kind of makes him look like Two-Face now.
Who needs to run with their feet? I just roll with my face.
Well, God, now we've got Batman chasing us. For fuck's sake.
I mean, the way these drow stealth, they could be. Anyway.
They could all be Batman.
Stool just carries on emanating thoughts into Cobalt's mind of scared, nasty drow. No, don't want to go with them again.
In between my reassuring of Turvey, I try and reassure Stool. Like, we won't let them take you. Don't worry, little one.
Cobalt has drawn the babysitter card of this combat.
Don't worry, Turvey. You get to keep the eye. I will make sure of it. No, the drow won't get... Ah!
Mother Cobalt, everybody. Turvey is paralysed, but he still actively radiates as if he is terrified right now.
Yes.
Somehow.
To be fair, he's covered in the spell, so he can probably... That's telepathy.
Yeah, actually.
So
that's a very good point. This entire time, suddenly Turvey realises he has telepathy, and your mind is filled with his screaming in agony at this.
I just can't... Oh, not helping. Not helping.
Cobalt, it's your turn.
I go for the arrow again.
Alright.
That's better.
That's the DC.
I'll take it.
Manage to just squeeze it out, and there's a... as it comes out from the side of the eyeball, and the eyeball kind of flattens into its normal shape. There's still a little bit of an indent there, like it's had an effect, but it's not
That's fine.
It's not lost the eye by a long shot. It doesn't look like it's blinded him either, which is the other.
I assume that was my act.
That was your action.
Let me just double check. This isn't a bonus. I don't think it is, but
The screaming in your head now, by the way, has turned more into a ha 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 ow ow ow.
Which thing?
I just reassure both again. Just like, don't worry, they're there.
There is also a thank you.
I love the idea
I
that
picked my shield up again.
getting an arrow pulled out of your eye is equivalent to stubbing your toe.
Oh no! Getting the arrow pulled out of his eye had him screaming at the top of his lungs. The arrow out of his eye, the remaining pain is ow, ow, ow.
You know what?
It's just
This
like
is better. I'll
the
take this.
lingering pain more than the actual pain at this point.
Also, stubbing your toe fucking hurts.
Oh my god, yes. It's the worst.
Okay, Drow Spider's turn. He is finally pissed off with Renlan.
Oh, baby.
Is going to.
Headache.
He's going to Hunter's Mark you and take a shot at you with disadvantage.
Don't shit talk him before.
I've
he
only got
misses you.
full cover.
That's a very good point.
Can he Hunter's Mark him?
He can Hunter's Mark him.
Not if
Well,
you
you
can't
only
see
need to
him,
see
you
them.
can't.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You've not got same logic as them. You've got basically 3/4 cover against him.
And then yeah, you
Alright.
So he can still see you in that regard.
well, hey, that's +5 AC.
That puts me on. Oh no! I'm not going to tell Bailey. Just do the attack. I'll take +1 +5 AC.
No, I'm figuring out if he's going to move to avoid that, or if he's going to do something else, seeing that.
That's when you find out he knows Fireball.
I feel that's a bad plan in here.
Fireball. I mean,
Considering
like,
where he
don't
is,
aim at
probably
him.
not. He just blast the arrow we're on.
I guess. Just hopefully it doesn't trigger like an action scene type moment where the entire place starts collapsing around us.
He is
It's
going
alright. I've got
to...
teleport.
Oh, nice for you.
Sorry, give me 2 seconds.
I'll just be over here with my half frost face.
We'll call you
Half
Mr. Frosty.
frost
We'll even give
face.
you a carrot for a nose if you want it.
He smiles,
I'm sure I'll take that belt.
and seeing where Renlan is stood, is actually going to shoot here instead.
You know, he's
Alright.
actually in pretty good spirits considering that he hasn't hit anything yet. I'd be furious.
He hit,
Well, he's only
hit
trying to
you
hit
early
the
on.
ground.
He has hit
yeah, but
something.
that's not hard.
So,
Like, come on,
his
challenge.
roll, the crossbow bolt suddenly fires and slams into the wall. And as Renlan kind of chuckles to himself at how much the drow definitely missed, the bolt suddenly explodes into a hail of thorns. Roll me a dexterity save, please, Laurie.
Hail of Thorns.
I believe he would still have advantage on the deck save though.
He's not got cover against this. The cover is against
It's
where
okay.
I suppose, yeah.
where the attack comes from. It emanates from the bolt.
What ability is this?
Hail of thorns.
Oh, it's just called Hail of Thorns. I've never heard of it.
Yep.
I'm gonna look it
Ranger
up.
thing.
I assume so. 'cause I
That's
don't
actually
know.
shit damage as well, unfortunately. You take
Let's
3 points of damage as you kind of duck down and most of the thorns go over you. And you hear him...
He will possibly notice that I don't even. Well, I may have flinched from the noise, but that has only taken half of the shield off.
Oh, have you got some...
Yeah, because I
got
killed
every
someone,
point.
didn't I?
You did.
Very first thing he did.
Yep. He clicks his tongue in annoyance again. Yeah. So he's done 1, 2. Okay. So I'm just keeping track of spells. That is his turn. He. Seeing people getting closer, he's actually going to start backing up here as well.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. He is going to attempt to go through these stalagmites, squeeze through these, so he's still got some cover. Does require an acrobatics check, however, as he uses full movement for it. That's fine. That's 21. As he basically looks around, sees that his team might not be in the winning position here, and backs behind the stalagmites.
What's his first clue?
Eldith kind of chases after him, using her full movement. Well, using half her movement, sorry, but both actions. Renlan, your turn.
I'll use half my movement to go over here, and I'll just say, the cowardice of the drowned display once more.
Yeah, I say as I wipe frost
And
off my face.
yeah, vicious mockery again.
He passes this time with nat 20. So he takes no damage and isn't at a disadvantage. As he says, coward or not, I'm definitely going to live this day. Crystal be damned.
I'd say shots fired, but...
Is it 30-foot range?
Yeah, seeing that he's actually completely unaffected by this.
Well, bear in mind, if it's 30-foot range, you don't get that off. He's not within 30 feet of you there.
No. I'm thinking about doing
Well,
no, because he's already passed the vicious mockery. Because my teleport is a bonus attack.
Wait. Oh, sorry. I was asking. Sorry, I thought was vicious mockery not 30-foot range. Then that's what I was asking. What's the range of vicious mockery? I think it's 60 feet, but it's just the fact that you were looking for 30 feet.
60 foot, yeah.
Okay,
I mean, he passed it anyway, didn't he? So
yeah. Well, it's the fact that you were measuring it up made me second guess. I thought that's why you were measuring it as an afterthought.
No. But seeing as he seems to be unaffected by my amazing thing to say, I'm going to use my bonus attack to
teleport there.
That's probably wait, can I go there, or am I going to have to?
No, you can go there. You can go there. You kind of cuddled in between some stalagmites, kind of pressed against them.
I'll just teleport after him.
Okay. You hear him in annoyance. Anwar is going to take another shot at... Ooh, he's not got the greatest shots here, actually.
I mean, he can move.
He can, but he's because of the gun propelling him around, he's basically backed himself up like almost a turret, but in these stalagmites.
Right.
I would say he has a shot on this guy at half cover, so he's going to take that shot. That's a natural one. The gun... Anwar's got a real problem with loading bullets while I'm controlling him, apparently. Flynt...
You just want us all to die, we know.
I'm rolling the dice actively. I'm being very fair with my dice rolls. Flynt moves up and is going to use Booming Blade.
Flynt takes my kill, I'm going to be sad.
Rolls his attack. That's going to miss, I'm pretty sure. Yep, it does. It goes to the Drow's turn. The Drow is going to use Disengage to get away, and then make his acrobatics check as he attempts to run.
Later,
He
fuckers!
does fucks up. However, he doesn't fuck up quite as bad as Mike, so I'll say he gets halfway before he falls flat on his face.
Good.
He used his action to disengage though, so he doesn't get another one to get up. This guy is then going to go over to here with his movement. That's a natural one.
Duh.
He makes it as far as there, where he was standing originally, and falls flat on his face. Then he gets up and attempts to go here.
God damn it.
And gets there. The Drow are very much in a not-so-fighting retreat at this point.
It's just a full state of cowardice all over the place, isn't it?
It seems
How
so.
embarrassing for them.
Kamar.
Speaking of being an embarrassment...
Oh, you're no longer in Very far, are you?
I think I am.
Yeah, he is. It was the middle one that cast it on.
Neither of these have actually been hit yet, so one of them did it.
Yep.
So
no, one of them has been hit, but he made the Constitution save to keep the spell.
Ah, okay. I thought the natural one had forgotten because he fell face first. Or something.
There with my full movement.
It was the other one that fell face first.
Oh, are you acrobating this one again, Mike?
Oh yeah, obviously. 19.
19.
Okay.
That makes it.
Yep.
You get advantage on this attack roll if you're attacking the one on the floor.
And I will.
Okay.
And I'll shout as I go to stab him. I say, "Let the light of Pelor shine through you, through your face, that is." And stab him.
That was bad.
Roll your attack at advantage.
Oh, that was so terrible. I loved it.
Yeah. Why do you think I said it?
It fit Kamar so well.
21 or I'll take the 21.
That's fair. That's a hit.
21.
That's a hit.
Okay, so
This is drow number 1.
Oh god, it's 1d8 plus 7. Why don't I remember this?
Plus your strength modifier. Oh no,
Yeah, so
it's plus something for Dawnbringer as well, actually.
Yeah,
so.
it's plus 2.
2.
So yeah, it's 1d8 plus 7 for me for this attack. I guess I'm pretty sure I'll smite him as well. Why
Thou
not?
shalt be smitten.
Oh, he likes me. Do you want me to split
Love me? Very different kind of paladin. No, it's fine. Drow don't have resistances.
Okay.
These ones anyhow.
Plus 7. 23.
Nice.
You skid into place next to this guy, bring your sword up with one hand, and just impale him right through the gut. He reaches up, grasps the sword, and then collapses. Like,
Grab the sword, like, oh wait, the sword is made of laser. That just hurts more.
he is very much in pain there.
Is he dead?
And dead. Yeah, sorry, he is dead.
Okay.
More so
So he's
than
not in pain anymore.
That's true. He's in a better place.
Yeah,
now.
minor details. Minor details.
Or did I kill him so hard he's still in pain after death? Because that's what I was aiming for.
I mean, he worships a demigod of evil, so he's gone to the abyss most likely. So yes, he is in much pain after he's dead, but it's not to do with you. Anyway,
Fantastic. I'll take it.
Stool and Turvy do nothing.
Serves him right for serving the wrong god.
Does Turvy not get to make his save?
The drow poison is just for an hour. It's not.
Oh.
You don't get saves to wake up.
Did that break his concentration?
Oh, actually, no. Sorry, I am completely wrong. The pulling the crossbow out was enough. Technically, this isn't a paralysis. This should have been sleep poison. So pulling the crossbow out has actually sparked whatever Turvy needed in order to resist the effects of the poison. So he does ow, 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 and kind of sit up, but not really do anything. So now it's Cobalt's turn.
There, lad. You'll be fine.
He just says, "Thank you."
As I step forward and take a defensive posture.
You can see, like, as you take this and now start to pay attention to the battle has very much moved away from this area. You don't think there's any easy shot on you
I
guys.
also know it's too far for me to get anywhere near it to make a difference at
That's
this
fair.
rate. So I would rather just ensure they're not going to take a pot shot.
That's fair. At this point, it is now Drow Spider's turn. He's going to
Be a little bitch.
Very much so. He moves over there, rolls an acrobatics. That's fine. He then stops and mutters something, and you can see his entire image starts to, like, not just his obviously dark skin, but his clothes and everything and even his white hair starts to darken, as if blending with the shadows.
Do I still have darkness on me?
I was about to say.
Oh
no,
I was going to say, you can't do concentration spells.
The darkness fades.
Well, if it was actually just using one with shadows, like the warlock thing, or whatever it is, then, like, yeah, fine. Doesn't break concentration. We know where he is.
It's not.
No, it'll be pass without trace.
How injured did he look before he did that, though, seeing as I was very focused on him?
Not very.
As soon as he
You were doing like 1 or 2 damage a time.
when he
didn't have
vanishes,
much done.
can I say to this guy, like, looks like you've been abandoned?
Actually, for what it's
In a
worth,
very menacing manner.
I'm pretty sure that guy as well. Sorry, I was wrong.
That guy also gets plus 10.
I think so. Well, I think it affects him, whatever this guy cast.
The mystery spell.
Nope, it is just
Pass
self.
without trace.
Oh, I'm asking you and your
Okay.
companions. Each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, yeah. So, yeah.
Looks like you've been
both-
abandoned. Vanishes. Aw.
You can still see them. They've just darkened, like more so than
Right.
they're already dark creatures, obviously in Drow.
To be fair, it
Elif.
only adds to your stealth. It doesn't stealth you,
Yes.
from what I've...
Yep, and that is completely the case, which is why they're still there.
So, still very noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
Till he
Okay,
stealths.
it looks like I say. It looks like you're being abandoned.
Renlan?
Okay, right. Well, considering what I have, oh wait, should I?
I don't know. Should you?
Yes. I know what you're thinking about, but yes, you should.
I think you should as well.
Things are more fun when you do, rather than do not.
I'm gonna go for it, right? So I'm gonna 1, 2, 3. Just go half my movement. I know
That
this
was
guy's
20
still there,
foot.
but
That was 20 foot. Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, that's 20 foot by map tools logic. It's still 3 squares. You're right. Sorry.
and then looking at Drow Spider-Man, as I've called him,
That's
I'll
fair.
cast command on him, and I'll say, "Approach." DC 13.
Okay.
Wisdom. I'm guessing he's probably going to pass this, but it's worth a try. It's the last spell slot I've got.
I appreciate the effort.
'Cause, I mean, if not,
Nope. With his elven innate ability to resist such things and given an advantage on the dice, he does manage to resist it.
fuck.
Oh man, I didn't prepare compelled duel today.
That's your turn. Anwar is going to take a shot at him. Unfortunately, you and Eldith plus the Stalagmite will provide half cover to this. That is a 18. No, unfortunately, with the half cover, it ricochets off the Stalagmite, narrowly missing Renlan. At which point, there's a second delay, and you hear Anwar say, "Sorry." Flynt
Damn, you're sucking today.
carries on. I swear I've not been making up Anwar's rolls. He's just unfortunately rolled really badly on this end.
Yeah, I believe you.
But he's done terribly, yeah. The Drow, do you have a melee weapon out, Laurie?
Sorry, what?
Do you have
I
melee
don't have a weapon out, no. If that's what you mean.
Man,
I mean, I
rushes
might try
away.
and grab him as he tries to run away, if that's something I can do.
That's not... You're not a
You can.
martial
Can you
character.
punch him?
You can, because grappling is just an alternative attack, and surely there's no reason you can't do an unarmed attack as a attack of opportunity.
I feel this has been on
Punch him
logic
away.
before, but like I would normally go with that logic if it was a martial character, but Renlan being a to this point he's been very focused. Even his basic attack is just a cantrip. Like he's never used a weapon.
No, that's fine. All you
Yeah.
need to say is no. I was just asking if I could maybe try and grab his clothes as he got away, but if not, then fair enough.
I would say you're not really ready for that, especially since you just cast a spell on him. I'd say.
Also, I did not know Thorn Whip didn't actually have a dex roll. I thought it had a dex roll.
It's an attack roll.
It doesn't.
It's either a save or an
Whip.
attack roll.
Yeah, if
for
it actually
spells.
hits them, then you just pull them
Yep.
towards you.
Yeah,
Yep, that's right.
I should have
You have
done
to-
that.
you have to hit them though. You still can that guy anyway.
Well, no,
could.
my turn's over.
The Drow rolls his acrobatics.
I guess.
He is fine. He then uses half movement, rushing into the darkness in the corridor, and rolls a stealth. That is high enough that none of you see as he disappears into the darkness. So, as far for all intents and purposes, he is no longer in view. It is now Kamar.
Ow.
Oh.
Well, for what it's worth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
5.
Yeah,
10,
you can actually reach him this turn in one movement.
21.
It's got old D&D grid on, which is every second diagonal
Yeah,
is an
you
extra
are
5
right,
feet. Whereas
okay.
D&D
Like
5th
if you'd moved him
simplifies
to
that.
there, it would have said 30s normal, but you can go in either tile.
Alright, cool.
So yeah,
There
you
then.
can reach him.
Do you want me to acrobatics?
Yes.
Please make this
Again,
one
remember
get
you're at
us going.
disadvantage.
Ah, shit.
Remember,
I mean,
remember you're at
doesn't matter.
disadvantage on these as well.
Uh,
I think I forgot about that last time. Either way, yeah,
I think you did.
you fall flat on your face. I will say you get to there before you fall.
I will stand up.
Mhm.
And that's the rest. That's...
You've got 15 foot of movement if you still want it.
I thought standing up was half my movement.
It is. You use
Yeah,
30 foot to
so-
get to him. You've used another 15 to get up. You've got 15
Oh,
left.
right, yeah, like, so if I want to dash,
Yep.
I can take the rest of what you're saying.
It's worth trying.
Like, considering you stood up, you technically already dashed. So
Yeah.
you may as well use the rest of the movement if you want to.
Yeah, fuck it then, yeah, sure.
Roll acrobatics at disadvantage. So you do
Yep.
you do that thing that as you're standing up, you kind of get your foot beneath you, and then your foot slides out behind your arse, and you just fall face first on the floor again. Actually,
16 second time.
Yeah. No, you would.
It was going so well.
So you are prone now.
Sure.
Stool, Turvy, Cobalt. Cobalt, what are you doing?
I keep protecting. I suppose I can actually now see Kamar a bit better, can't I?
Yeah.
Given there's no longer the darkness.
Kamar is basically on the other side of the crystal to you.
I thought the crystal was on the ceiling.
No, the crystal is from floor to ceiling, but this middle square is the only thing that really blocks view on the bottom. I would say...
Well, it's more a case of that's now lit up more, isn't it, where Kamar is?
Yes, it is.
Although, don't I still have darkness on me?
No, because he cast a different...
He cast different spells for the darkness phase.
Oh, right. So darkness fell off, but I'm still verified.
Yep.
Right. Although verified make it much easier to see me.
So... I'm just... Yeah, they've got this. I'll just hang back here.
Okay.
And continue to defend.
The remaining drow uses his 30-foot movement to get some distance, and then he's going to go half movement and stealth into the darkness. That is very much going to get away. That's like in the 30s.
Oh, wow, okay. So that's not even a perception roll.
That's... Bear in mind, passive without trace gave them both plus 10 on their rolls. They both rolled quite well as on top of that. So no, they both very much disappeared into the darkness of the tunnel and got away, unfortunately.
I shout, return and face your death, coward!
You just hear it echoing along the corridor. Coward, coward, coward.
Everyone, this cave is calling me a coward. We must fight it.
And with that, 40 minutes later than expected, we should probably draw this to an end.
Yeah.
Well, that was a fun
I mean,
session.
I'll go to the end and like try and look for him, but then I guess I'll fail on that.
I will say you get one perception check
once more.
You get one. Sorry, you get an investigate.
Perception.
Can I do the same?
It's an act. I hate there being an investigation and a perception thing, because investigation
I'm not going
is
around
search.
looking. I'm actually sort of like looking into the distance, so it'd be perception. It's not like I'm exploring around.
You don't need to explore around for investigation. Like the old search, which is from 3.5, is just looking for something specific, whereas perception is awareness of your surroundings as a whole.
Well, if I can hear him as well.
It depends what you're looking for, really.
It's basically the... I'm going to say it's investigation because you are actively looking, like you're putting effort, like you're putting intelligent thought into saying he could be there. Like you're looking at places that he could be as well in order to try and justify it.
Can I do that as well with my -1?
Go for it.
I mean, if you really want to be pedantic, you can throw in survival for track.
Yeah,
that would be different because you're looking for his actual
plus 3 for perception and 0 for investigations, that kind of stuff.
0.
Wow.
That's my 5th nat 1 tonight.
You know what it is? It's because you've fallen face first on the ground so many times, now you can't open your eyes anymore.
I was just about to say, so as Kamar looks into the tunnel, he's kind of head swerving. He then turns left and looks at Renlan, and Renlan, you can just see his entire face is frosted over from like this layer of snow. You can't actually see his eyes.
Like swollen eyes as well.
Blank flesh now.
Like, I'm gonna go like half. My eyes are like swollen shut because the amount of time I've slammed into the floor.
It's like he's been beaten up or something.
Yeah, like, oh god, come on, what happened to you? I fell, okay?
I fell multiple times.
I fell down the stairs.
He fell down the crystals. Renlan, no, unfortunately your investigation doesn't beat the 23, which is what the lower drow got.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with I distracted Renlan by my sheer horrific appearance.
That's fair.
This is why he didn't see anything.
That is understandable. But yes, this is where we'll end today's session. We'll pick up next week in the Crystal Cavern.
Ah, yes. I want to see what that crystal does.
I'm going to attack it.
Of course you are.
Why would you attack it? He didn't want us to get to it, so clearly it is beneficial.
Well, clearly it's important to him, which is why we need to destroy it. That's all I'm saying.
That's
anyway
reasonable.
Hope you folks
Thank
enjoyed
you all
watching.
for watching, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week, guys.